You're all set. Let's get this shit ball on the roll. I am so excited to do this. For those of you who are joining in and don't know,
Are we live? I thought we were still setting up.
this
We're live now.
this LP has been literally 5 years in the making. It has been 5 years since we halted Disclosure Alert. Can you believe that, guys?
Unfortunately, yes.
I actually thought it was only 4 years for a second, but then that was actually the last time someone posted something on Disclosure.
Yeah.
Because you were
It's
posting like,
actually 5.5 years because we started it in February of 2013.
Yeah.
the last episode we posted was in November,
Yeah, November.
which was not coincidentally the same month that I dropped out of my university. So that's part of the reason we ended up quitting in the first place.
I mean,
Or
it's
a lot of
5 years, and like we all changed so much over that very small period of time, relative to the world. Whew.
Well, I mean,
It's a long time for us.
I personally know a reason why it stopped.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I am Brandon Carey, aka New Dark Cloud. Joining me is Will, aka Anaphysik,
I'm Will, probably better known as anaphysik.
and Brandon Jonley, otherwise known as Aldowyn.
Hi, what's up? I'm Brandon, or Aldowyn, or whatever.
We'll figure it out as we go along. This is kind of improv theater / getting things done that should have been done years ago.
Do we want to stick with handles? Is that the easiest way to do this? Because there's two Brandons. So
I don't. Yeah,
You guys can do what you want. I know you as Aldowyn, so I want to keep calling you that.
okay.
But you can do what you want. I don't really care. Anyway, we are playing Alpha Protocol,
We can,
the espionage RPG.
One thing I never got to do on Disclosure Alert was I only did it once when I did the French voice, I think. Like give funny names to people. Like I was gonna call you Aldowyn, and then the best one that I can't believe I never got to use. I don't think I've ever heard it on any of your places. Is you are nude art cloud.
We're gonna play on easy because I'm not really here for the difficulty.
are
Protocol.
you streaming it, by the way? Because I
Yeah,
can't see anything.
yeah, it's New Dark. It's Twitch.tv / New Dark Cloud. We are streaming. Try
Yeah,
refreshing the stream and you'll see it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I guess I
We're
should read
going to
this.
do a recruit though, because if I ever play
I
this
was-
game again, I want to be able to do a
ask about
veteran. I want to be able to do a
Oh,
veteran
oh.
again because I don't. This
You
is
can,
New save.
yeah.
you can save edit to, or not save edit. You can like get an auto save from recruit at the end of the game, and then just play through that and unlock veteran that way.
Yeah. I should have done that before we started though. Unfortunately.
It's fine. We did veteran for the one I was driving, didn't we?
I
Yeah,
believe so.
I've never seen any of the recruit special dialogue, and I think there is some, right?
Yeah, there is some recruit special dialogue. There is some unique to recruit. Yeah, this is the PC version of the game, by the way. All of my progress is on the PS4 version or the PS3 version, which
Okay.
I still have, but I don't want to use that for stream purposes because capture card shenanigans are not fun to deal with. And so here is the premise of Alpha Protocol.
The espionage RPG by Obsidian Entertainment.
Which is one of their most interesting games, even though it's also probably their most flawed game. Not the most, but definitely one of the most flawed games they've ever made.
Yeah, I mean I'm trying to come up with a competitor and it's not coming. It has some issues. But the reason I've always really liked Alpha Protocol, although I haven't played it in years, is just conceptually. I'm having flashbacks to credits.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, just conceptually.
Even now, there's
Yeah.
nothing that does it quite like this. Even today.
Yeah. It's so unique in the way that it handles the way dialogue happens and the way relationships work with the characters and factions in the game.
We're gonna see. We're gonna repeat a lot of things we did on the previous Let's Play, but I do love this setup or this framing device.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It reminds me of like they're doing the interview of like what happened, so it kind of reminds me of Dragon Age 2 in that way.
Yeah. Please have subtitles enabled.
They drugged me.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'll have to enable subtitles later.
Don't want to skip the cutscene. That would be bad. But also that would really help.
Great.
So I don't have to
I'm
choose
gonna
between
fail the
hearing
next
myself
drug
echo
screening
and
test.
knowing what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They could have just asked me to close my eyes.
Wait, is that a QR code on his?
Yes, that is a QR
Yes,
code.
All right, so here's a question: How much repetition from a disclosure alert are we going to do? Because that's actually like the very first thing that you guys said when you
I'm
wrote
going to
my-
treat this as if
Yes?
disclosure alert never happened.
Yeah, I do not remember anything of what we did 5 years ago.
See, my prep for this was watching through disclosure alert again.
You're better than we are.
You are a decent human being, and I am sorry that we're not.
What?
Ugh, never mind. Just clearing my head.
The dose is
We're
pretty
gonna be
strong.
Slave.
I'm surprised you're even able to stand.
I don't think we've met.
I only got through the first week and the
static on the screen is
kind of like the first half of the second week. And I will say Saudi Arabia is
Static's a good look for you.
hilarious. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, you have to rewatch those ones. They are
If
amazing.
flattery is your only weapon,
Like
Yeah.
it's
you'll need to go.
This game is
it's
also
kinda- it's
weird
kinda
in
out of-
I don't wanna
in
work.
That is part of our
hindsight.
peak.
All the more reason to leave.
Like it's like a time capsule almost of like everything that was
Outside. Eventually, he's going to come check on you.
part of that period of time of history.
The very early 2000s.
Yeah, very
early
early
2010s.
2000s.
All right then.
Early 20, like it's.
Don't take too
How old
long.
was that game when we were actually doing? Was it
The
2008?
door's locked down.
2010. So yeah, it was right at the
You might
turn.
be able to find a way to break
So
the
this was a
glass.
couple years after Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And in that kind of era.
And guess which menu subtitles is in?
Let's see.
It's in
Audio.
game. At least
Nope.
there's only 4 options.
There you go, game.
Case of emergency.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't gonna be in control. Oh jeez.
I'm going to remember how to play this game.
Do you have any gadgets?
Guess Sleeping Beauty's
Oh,
had
good.
enough. That you
You're
might.
seeing the stream now?
You just hold on. I'm sending some
Yeah.
guards to tuck you back
Awesome.
This is bizarre.
Yeah,
I
this
played last time.
is. I feel weird playing this game again.
Yeah, it's.
You must be weird because you're not actually playing the game. You're just watching it. You used to be a player last time
I've
we
never
did
actually
this.
done a Let's Play
Panels
just
on the wall.
as a
Do a bypass on it.
co-host.
And
Alright.
I haven't played since the Alpha Protocol Let's Play. That was my second time through the game. Was basically concurrent with it, like doing it a few weeks ahead of time, so that
Yeah.
I mean, Aldowyn was doing the same thing, except I remembered the map layouts after I did it.
Yeah.
They probably have a guard
So
in the
there were
lobby.
some differences.
I don't think I got that lost.
Fortunately
oh,
for
oh my
me,
gosh, no, I have seen the
There's at least
episodes
one.
again.
There's
You
at least
definitely-
one
There
where I
was
got
one time
some.
where you almost went back to the beginning of the level.
Yeah, there was one that was pretty egregious.
yeah, I remember back then.
You-
Fortunately,
you were
I
even
I've played this game often enough that I do still remember most of the maps.
Mm-hmm.
So we should hopefully not have that
just means
problem.
That it let us show how terrible the map is in this game.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
I mean, to be fair, Obsidian and maps are never like a good combination in the
I'm
general
kinda-
sense.
I mean, most of the like normal role playing games work fine. But
Right,
some
I-
levels are rough.
I remember New
a lot-
Vegas.
Yeah, but New Vegas was based on Bethesda's map design. That doesn't have to do with
True.
the maps that Obsidian made are part of it, but the way that the map layout is done was
Yeah.
baked in.
That's true. Yeah.
With the engine, but I don't remember having issues with like Pillars of Eternity or
Watch out for
anything.
cameras. If they
Really.
spot you or you destroy
Yeah,
them,
not really.
But also, there are a lot of external areas, which is very different from
Yeah.
internal maps,
So
interior maps.
yeah, anybody who's watching this, so we've got a link to the disclosure alert episodes for comparison. For instance, right there, Aldowyn would have stealthed that totally differently, and in fact he did. He kicked down the door. Somebody saw him. He turned invisible. Then he walked up to them while invisible, punched them in the throat, and I mean, it worked actually. So
Yeah. I
Give a
mean,
shit about it.
it doesn't matter
Did
what
I work?
happens, right?
Still
Also,
one of my favorite
why didn't
moments.
you kick down that door?
We're gonna
But
be sneaky,
one of my
sneaky.
favorite moments was that one time when there was like the cameras, and I just sprinted through the cameras and didn't get seen and hit the guy before the alarm went
Yeah.
off.
I want to see
this
like how much my
Type A?
stealth gaming skills have deteriorated
Maybe.
over the years, because I haven't played this game in literally since the LP.
Yeah, the stealth isn't that bad in this game,
Yeah.
really. If you spec into it, it's pretty easy.
Well, you also had a hard time because, as we found out, veterans start with combat gear for free, but
Right.
combat
Yeah.
gear has terrible sound dampening. He's
Yeah.
just in his
Where I'm in
whatever you
civvies,
call
like
it.
in a hospital gown.
Well, yeah, hospital gown.
I mean, it's not really a gown, but yeah,
Almost gave me the slip.
Scrubs, I should say.
scrub. They do look like they're like scrubs. But
Hospital
yeah, so
jammy.
we don't actually know a lot at this point. Okay.
There's the mouth pin up and down. Use left click to set the pin. Okay.
Oh, so here's a question. How full-on spoilers do we want to go? Do we wanna,
we'll
like-
talk about things as they come along. This game is like 10 years old, so like if you haven't played Alpha Protocol yet, tough luck.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
we
mean,
can talk
for
about
instance, when we do the stealth challenge and get our conversation reward, can we just talk full-on about that, like end-game spoilers?
Sure.
Because there's
Oh.
a lot of
because
there's a lot of parallels there.
yeah, and there's stuff in the end game that we didn't actually cover in Disclosure Alert that was related to that, if I remember
Yeah, we
right.
never went full circle.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, lockpicking and mouse and keyboard and mouse is so trivial. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've played this game with a controller so often that I didn't realize just how different playing keyboard and mouse was.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like you didn't have the sensitivity issue. One of the problems with the keyboard and mouse is that, like, the sensitivity is really, really low. You have to push it like almost off the screen, or at least I did when I played it.
I almost had to do that. Yeah, it was close.
Oh, okay.
But
that makes it easier to find. Like,
yeah.
it gives you more.
yeah, that
control,
is
right?
convert like as weird as it is. That actually ends up making it easier, is because you're not having like the pressure sensitivity that a controller would have. Oh, that
You
is
won't
not
just fly
supposed to
past
happen. Okay,
Oh, you just exploded everything. Okay.
I have no idea why that happened.
Yeah, we don't have a sound. Oh, yes, I just saw it. Okay,
Get out.
I guess I'm on a bigger delay than Aldowyn.
Yeah. So I guess we're not sneaking anymore.
I guess
Seems to be
not.
The idea here.
No, you use the fire as a distraction. They won't be able to notice you. Actually,
Yeah,
if they're distracted, you might be able to take them down while they're on alert. Aldowyn was able to do that a few times, actually.
Yeah.
They're not distracted at all. Oh,
That pistol does not work very well shooting like that. You gotta aim.
I'm aware.
Oh,
I was just trying to get some scratch damage in before I actually went in for the assault.
It's a good thing we're on easy, or you would definitely be dead by now.
oh so
I would never play recruit in anything but easy, ever.
since you literally did play it on hard your very first time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my
said as he
first
learned
my
the
first playthrough of this game was on recruit on hard mode, and that fucking sucks.
And you didn't like know that pistols were as OP as they are.
So I went assault
Remember?
rifles
That's a terrible idea.
because
I
I
thought
didn't
with the
know
shotgun.
that pistols were not powerful but broken.
Can I make a weird malicious sadistic request, basically?
You can make it. I can't guarantee I'll actually do it.
So here's the thing. I have never actually seen a playthrough with SMGs. I think I only know how they're so terrible because of lots and lots of anecdotal evidence. Like, I haven't actually played it through myself. And you're on easy and recruit. That should be easier, right? No, it's harder than better.
I will tell you
But-
what, for you, baby, I will spec like I will hybrid pistols SMGs just for you.
Oh no, you got an SMG shotgun, don't you know?
Shotguns are so fun.
Why
I'm
would you
sorry.
specialize in shotguns?
Because they're fun.
Shotguns were actually pretty effective. Aldowyn
Yeah,
actually showed
yeah.
that. I was kind of sold on it.
Yeah.
I ended up side-specking into
Oh my
pistols and
god, this
shotguns
is
in my
gonna be
playthrough,
so
and it was actually
weird.
pretty good.
Is it just? It's just straight up showing you where to go.
No, this is a tutorial.
Okay, that's why it's just straight up showing you where to go. That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't remember the beginning bit? Okay, so I guess we should talk about a bit of the framing here. This is kind of like one of those standard spy tropes where you're drugged and the spy is drugged and wakes up in some unknown facility. And in this case,
There
the
we
trick
go.
is that this is all a practice run basically. It's an evaluation. They're trying
Yeah.
to see if Michael Thorpe or whoever, if that's their code name, they're trying to see if this spy guy might actually be suited for the job that they're gonna go send it on to
Yeah,
die,
it's-
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
That's
test.
enough.
Yep,
I
there we
think
go.
that's my line.
But it plays into
What's
those
going
kind of
on? Why did
tropes
you
of
drug me?
We need to get the
Yeah, we're level
waking up
1!
right in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, that's the point, right?
Kidnapped and questioned.
Level up.
Is this place hidden?
I forgot you started at level 0.
Not only does this place not
Yeah.
exist, but places that think they know about this place, well, they don't exist either.
That's a little
Oh,
course.
yeah.
confusing.
This is the second recruit dialogue. I missed the first.
Politics.
Let me
There
guess.
was no
Is this
first one.
really
This is the first recruit dialogue in the game.
Yep.
No. He must have given an automatic dialogue response immediately when he wakes up.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Like the veteran one, which he saw in Disclosure Alert, is actually really stupid because he just wakes up and he says, "Where's my gear?"
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like good. It
I
doesn't-
think in
like, it
the
doesn't sound
in recruit he
reasonable.
calls it some Wizard of Oz bullshit.
Oh, I like that actually.
Rereading your dossier. Although with your experience, it's more like a pamphlet, fresh out of Langley.
What's So I can't hear his voice. I'll have to just hear it on
I
the
think I've got
recording
potential,
later.
sir, and I'm anxious
Um,
to prove
We'll
it.
see.
Does Thornton's does the voice actor give any sort of difference in dialogue delivery between? recruit and
Not
normal?
really. Like, that was a
Like, does
big
he
problem
sound
with the
more
game is that
unsure or
like
anything?
Mike Thornton's like that voice actor is like perpetually flat.
There's more
Yeah,
of
he
you?
was kind of eh. I'm trying to figure out who it was.
So's the rest of
Was
the
it Thornton or
staff.
Thornton?
They all have their little quirks, but that's what makes them
Thornton,
perfect for the job.
no N.
They'll be
You
running
He misspelled my name, Thornton.
Thornton.
espionage tactics.
Okay.
N.
Cleared on the basis. Couldn't find
Yeah.
you for your assignment.
I just looked up Michael Thornton, who is apparently a retired
Yeah, he's voiced by BioWare. I know.
I think you're the
United
one for
States
the
Navy
job.
SEAL.
Make the rounds.
So that's a
I'll
little
see you
awkward.
soon.
Alpha Protocol.
Great.
Mike.
Just like high school. Take some
That's the
tests
voice actor?
and chat with the
No,
guidance
I'm looking it
counselor
up.
about my future.
Just like high school. Okay, that's also
Oh.
unique dialogue for recruit.
Josh Gilman?
Guess we're gonna put a point into stealth.
No, I think you mean submachine guns.
No, you're right. Remove rank. We're gonna spec 1 point in pistols, 1 point in SMGs.
So here's the thing that we have to settle a kind of thing. Check your stealth. Stealth rank 2.
No,
That's
my
when you get awareness, right?
yeah. Awareness basic is stealth rank 2.
Yeah, you said you got it from the beginning, but you said that. But you guys also said that you use it in one of the training courses. I guess Parker's.
Because
you
when you
don't
start with a
have it.
veteran, you get rank 3 in all skills.
No, I know that, but you guys were talking about normal playthrough.
Oh,
You and Werewolf.
if
both
you
did
don't play as a recruit, you can spec into like rank 3 stealth. Like some like the you get free point buy for your skills, and you can spec into stealth early on if you're not playing if you're playing anything but recruit, because recruit starts with nothing. That's unique.
Sorry,
that's unique.
what I meant was for the tutorial, they
Yeah.
teach you. You guys said that they teach you how to use awareness, even if you didn't have stealth points.
Oh,
That makes a lot of sense because
And,
otherwise
like,
they have to teach you later. If that's such a
Werewolf's
fundamental.
Werewolf said that they couldn't, like they could
ass
only
screen.
use it in that one tutorial, and then couldn't use it outside of it. And I think it was because they just didn't have the points in it.
Yeah,
interesting.
that makes sense.
I guess I could stop sneaking around now, and I need to stop hitting C for crouch.
You're gonna give him arthritis or
You're gonna give
scoliosis.
yourself arthritis.
Yeah,
I have an ergonomic keyboard, so I'm good.
carpal tunnel. I don't think that just means you won't ever mess up your.
Oh,
hand.
I mean, I work computer science. I work as a system administrator,
That's a good
so
point.
like that's going to happen.
That's not a great way to.
Kick down those
I will
lines.
get carpal tunnel.
Get some workers comp for that.
You probably want to change.
See a
Go on.
chiropractor.
Your gear's
All
in
right, so we're gonna have the
lockers.
first choice in the game, other than choosing to be veteran or recruit, which is what our stupid facial hair and glasses and hat combo will look like.
Obviously, where is?
I don't know
it?
how we're gonna have to do the fucking lumberjack beard, right?
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
I think we have to start with the lumberjack beard, and then like, I don't know, slowly change it as the game goes on, and then
So you wanna-
right at the end, lumberjack again.
You want to start with the crazy beard and cut it down?
Well, we did the opposite before.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What kind of crazy hats can we do?
Backwards
backwards
baseball
baseball cap
cap. What are you
Was
talking
my-
about?
Was my favorite. that's what I voted for before, and you guys were like, "Oh, this looks so stupid," and it's like,
I
yeah,
feel
so
like this
why
is
are you
much
doing it?
more in
Yes.
style now than it was when we did this before.
Oh, it's not, but like it's still stupid. Let's do. But I'm okay with doing stupid these days.
But you gotta choose silly classes too.
Let's do the raps.
The raps look terrible.
The raps look terrible, and that's why we gotta keep them, right?
They look like swimming goggles.
They do.
That's exactly why I want them. I want those sweet goggles. Like eyes don't matter because I'm not gonna be able to see them anyway.
Now imagine literally anybody taking.
No, you have to
this
choose eyes. You have to make his eyes gray like his soul.
Oh, is gray an option? Yes, gray is an option. Holy shit. I'm not sure hair matters, but let's choose disheveled hair.
Kellerock in the commentaries in the what do you call it? Damn it, chat.
In the chat.
Thank you.
Kelly.
Chat says, "Here's our character, the biggest asshole on the planet," and
That's the planet.
Nude Art Cloud had a very interesting comment about people's opinions, people's how'd you call it? Their interpretations of Michael Thornton, like the common ones, especially between American players and European players. Where often American players think of Thornton as kind of like a generic action hero sort of person, and European players, or just non-American players in general, would think of it just the biggest asshole like in the entire world.
I remember that conversation.
And we got like there were a few dissenting opinions on that, but it was pretty solid.
Yes, for weapons.
Yeah, I remember that because I guess it's just a difference in the way that like our cultures deal with physical interaction with people.
Also, we're the ones that have 24 as a show that actually existed in the United States.
Which, just so we should mention this, it was very much hyped at the time this game came out, that there were 3 stances in the game: aggressive, suave, and professional.
The 3 JBs.
And they loosely corresponded to the 3 JBs. Jack Bauer from 24, who was represented by aggressive plays. Jason Bourne from Bourne series is represented by professional ones, and James Bond represented by suave ones. Except, of course, the suave ones in the game, suave ones in the game, mostly vacillate between 2 different types. One is like one-liners so bad that even James Bond wouldn't say them unless he was in an older James Bond movie.
Yes.
And like actually like reasonable things to say.
And it's really
Like,
weird
the
because
only way to make
I didn't watch
non-national is to
Jason
kind of
Bourne movies at the
mix
time.
Suave and professional.
I didn't
Yeah, but-
watch Jason Bourne movies time, so I've only seen them recently, the Jason Bourne movies. So like only now do I get like how that's supposed to translate, even though like, you kind of figure it.
He's not very interesting. Though.
Not really, and that's probably why Professional's not very interesting either, because it's just like, oh,
just doing
you're
the
just
job,
doing
right?
your job, which is I guess fine, but whatever.
The interesting thing is you're not supposed to play this game like you just pick one and that's your persona, what you're doing. You're supposed to like pick which one you're doing, like reacting to certain people, kind of thing. So like here, I'm gonna manage this one and I'm gonna pretend like I'm this kind of spy. And in a different situation, it's better to be aggressive and stuff like that. Because what's his name? Yancey is gonna talk to us.
Yancey, I remember Yancey.
Are you gonna take her to seduce them, or are you gonna just cooperate?
Undecided. No, fuck. Oh. Hacking's hard, because it feels weird doing it in,
Oh! Are you gonna watch... You gotta watch the TV.
I did.
It's 3 minutes.
We were watching it while you were talking.
While it was loading?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
just
already-
didn't notice.
Yeah, we already have the perk, and what is the... I don't know what the button is to actually show your character sheet.
Is it not C
service
is crouch,
record.
I guess. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good to compare.
Yeah, we had the news
dialogue.
conscious
I think
discount.
we did.
Yeah, we
He,
had
he
the-
goes on and on about his being a man of honor and whatnot.
Yeah,
Right?
a man of his word.
A man of his word. That's what it is. Which becomes important because we get to talk to Shahid later and make some deals with him if we want.
did we pick the
And-
suave option at some point?
The first option you
Which
get a perk for.
suave?
You
Yeah.
choose perk, you choose suave, aggressive, or professional. You get a perk depending on what your very first month in the entire game is.
No, I think
Okay.
it's your very first 2 responses.
So what happens if you do mixed?
I have no
I think there's
idea.
another one
different
that's
bonus?
mixed. Or you just
So
enough
which
for
strain
that
do you want us
start
to
out.
start with first, guys?
Just pick one. Leave it up to you.
All right, let's start with Parker, because I'm playing Spider-Man.
You just have to do no, that's Mina. You have to do me after Darcy's because we want to imagine that Darcy is.
Yeah.
I may be
Too
new
well.
to this, but not that new. Don't you have interns?
Parker's
for
is
that?
by far the most interesting because Parker's actually gives you an info dump on Alpha Protocol itself.
Hopefully, yes.
It has been a
And on
very long
his-
time since I've seen the rookie dialogues.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the reference. You were chosen not because of skill or experience.
should ask
but
where you
because
found
you're
those
on the
frickin'
radar of
glasses.
most intelligence agencies.
In the swimming pool,
Obviously,
we
Western sees
established
potential.
this.
Let's see if
In one of those
it's
mean pool traps.
So,
That's probably where he found his beard too,
orientation.
let's be honest.
you are familiar with the premise of an obstacle course, I assume?
I'm not that green.
We'll see.
But yeah,
Up
Parker
the ladder
Parker
is the
might not
training area.
seem like
First
it. He
test
seems
is
like just
navigating
kind of
through the
a
environment without
you know,
being detected.
Old hand.
middle management type guy.
Yeah.
But by the end of the game, he is by far one of the
Anything else I should
most
know about
important
running this
characters
course?
in terms
Yeah.
of to happen in the game.
And he's so unassuming when you first see him too.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the
Just like a
security
little
now?
standoffish, which might make you even like pay less attention to him.
As capable as
Yeah.
Like you don't get to spar with him the same kind of way that you do with Darcy.
Who
and you don't
who
have that
gets
kind
thrown
of,
under a
like, potential
fucking
rapport
bus
building.
in the end of the game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that fight was
Stop doing
that
that.
fight's fun. You got the perk for using the green options. Or
Yeah.
The
You
recruit
get a perk for being super rookie.
I think you mean the synthesis options.
option.
I couldn't resist.
I
I'm so
know how much you love talk about Mass Effect 3.
I actually,
how...
I actually did have conversations with some people about Mass Effect 3,
Always check your
and
surroundings with cameras.
for some reason I found a person who thought that synthesis wasn't horrible body horror.
Pay attention to camera.
There are a lot of people that say synthesis is like actually the best ending, and I'm just like, you know, that was Saren's choice, right?
Yeah. Also, Mass Effect 1 is the best ending.
Yeah.
Canon. Pretty sure.
You missed.
Hold on, let me check my personal wiki. Yep, that's canon.
I mean, I'm one of the people that's like, canon would be the thing with Anderson when he dies. That's the ending.
Well, I'm one of the people that like made up an alternate diagram for how Mass Effect 2 could have played out in a
Yeah,
way
I-
that actually flowed from Mass Effect 1. I've
Yeah,
got a
it's-
text file on my computer labeled Mess Affect 2. Wow, would you just ask that guy?
Yeah.
That's kinda cool.
You did.
And it ends up being a good enough score, I think.
You got
You-
caught at least once, so yeah, that seems good.
Over 100 thing is is outstanding.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well above average, especially for a trainee. Okay.
No way I'm running this again.
No, I don't think so.
Very well, I'll log the results.
But we will be
Westerns can
doing
complete
his
your
bonus thing.
evaluation once you finish the other
Yeah, we were doing all the
tests.
side
Which-
quests,
Did I do
yes.
much better than the other
Which-
recruits?
You're the first.
I missed the first time I played.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
talked about that vaguely.
Then it wasn't too bad, I guess. It felt a little easy, but
Course not enough of a challenge for you?
no.
Explain
Assignment
how a
for you.
raw recruit managed to get into Alpha Protocol,
You got recruited fresh from university.
Covert training op?
but
They
okay.
Wester said, "quote I had to wipe you from behind the ears before we set you loose."
Despite the semantics. The
We
penalty
should
for
make it
getting
It
clear
makes
to
sense
people
in
watching
story
that-
since you are disposable.
It'll be detention.
But you have to be very confident at what you do and then be disposable.
Well, I'm up for it.
In
See
fact,
what you
actually, like, I wonder if the veteran start
You
makes
want me
even
to
more
head
sense for
back
that
to the medical
because
center?
you would
Why?
kind of go into it like not expecting the betrayal sort.
What's
You'll be
the
like,
fight
oh yeah,
here?
there's gonna be weird some weird shit. Yeah, I might die. Yeah, it's
Not
standard
only will
mission.
this be a
And then no,
much
they
more
actually
practical
try to go.
counts,
Yeah.
But I think you'll be curious to see where in the world you're going to be.
But yeah, we should know this is not a
Any
normal
other
start.
intel I
Normally
should be
there
aware
are
of?
Nothing you can't find out on your own.
much better backstories for
We aren't
that you
even
can
having
choose
this
from,
conversation.
and they don't have like direct effects on your stats. They give you a preset
Yeah.
build, but you can totally modify that how you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they give you the ideas of different types of badasses that Alpha Protocol might recruit, and generally one thing that shows up in like all of them is great language ability, and like great ability to, well, often great ability to persuade people or just talk to people, which is actually like a pretty cool, like this one of the major things that real spies actually want to do, or be
Yeah.
plots.
Communicate and bluff.
You know, kill people with a pen, although that is pretty handy, and someone can in fact be killed with a pen in this game.
That sounds. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember
Yeah, that's in the game. But yeah, more just like knowing who to talk to and how to talk to them is really, really important for actual spycraft and just actual like non-spy intelligence work.
And
Yeah,
that's like the core thing that makes this game different from any other stealth action game, right?
There's a lot of talky bits.
Yeah. And the talky bits aren't just things you get through and make choices in, like they are in like Mass Effect.
Oh, that's what that's what a lot of the combat sections are, things you get through.
Yeah.
Like I think that's one of the problems with the game is that it doesn't. I don't know if it was as the usual Obsidian excuses that there's pressure from above.
Yeah.
I have played through most of Pillars of Eternity, and which was pretty much done by themselves. And I don't know, like you could kind of go either way on that. Even that, for instance, has a lot of like.
I feel like it's visibly more polished than something like this, though.
Yeah. It's actually like finished. Like I don't know if the issue of filler combat is usually blamed on pressure from above or whatever. It's
that's
just
more of the
not
genre that inhabits.
Yeah, especially with pillars. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that, which is why Tyranny was really interesting, because it had a lot more emphasis on avoiding.
It also had a baby. It also had an easy baby mode for people who don't want to actually fight. Which
does it?
Pillars 2, Pillars 2 did too. Like they also had an easy baby mode, which I ended up really playing because I didn't want to play the actual combat of the game.
On as easy as I could, but it was there was still some challenge to it. Especially like one time when
I breezed through Pillars 2 because I played on these difficulty, and that's I would actually recommend that for a lot of people because I don't like asymmetric RPG combat.
Yeah.
But so does Tyranny actually have like?
It has a story difficulty. It has a difficulty called story.
There's an explicit story mode.
Yeah.
Because I haven't gotten to play Tyranny.
It's a lot shorter than
on
Pillars.
Salary, kind of a bit higher than my budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is definitely shorter, and it also feels like it ends at Act 2.
It does. It very much does. Did they release that? There was a DLC that was supposed to come out for Tyranny.
They did, but I didn't play because I was kind of done.
Yeah. People are extremely mad. Look at this. Mostly negative Steam reviews. That's not great. Because people were mad because they felt like this
Oh, fuck off!
Because it includes like companion quests and things like that. That's pretty bad. But I haven't played Pillars 2 yet. So
Forgot there was one guy.
Is this supposed to be the combat section?
I forgot there was one guy, and I got caught. So Parker's
like
gonna
the
hate me
hacking
just a little bit for it, but whatever.
I haven't been paying attention. I haven't been watching. That's probably bad. Didn't admit that.
So what happens in this mission is if you do it flawlessly, Parker gives you like plus reputation boost. But if you get caught, he gets a pissed off.
Not enough to reveal what I was doing. Now that you have this file, huh?
Yeah.
Anything you can tell me about my
We
real
pissed him
file?
off because we got caught.
You're going to the Middle East to recover stolen prototype missile technology. Your probability of success.
I also really enjoy reputation systems like this more than I do like karma
Wait,
systems.
going to the Middle East?
Like they make more sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very strange in New Vegas where they like tried to do both.
I
If
appreciate
I
Yeah.
remember right.
Well, that
That was because it was hard coded in the Fallout engine, and they already had that established.
I mean, you could ignore that pretty easily, but yeah.
There were also
orientation
only a few things that actually triggered off of karma.
Customary for him to outline.
Cass's opinion of you triggered off of karma, and like a few perk access triggered off of karma. Although in that case, there was one for positive karma, one for negative karma, and for neutral karma.
I'm not sure
which is
I
pretty cool.
like that comparison.
That was in like I think they were added in Lonesome Road.
Yeah.
Such is the nature
But
of the
Pillars
camera.
does like reputations, like
Was there anything else?
character reputations, right? So like you're
Intelligence
benevolent
and
or
stuff.
whatever,
Find any yet?
which is interesting. I haven't seen
Intelligence.
anybody do something like that before.
Human.
Fine.
So it
I
was
might
instead of
just go for the pissing off Parker thing now that
Well-
we can.
Analyzed incorrectly.
I haven't
Great repercussions.
well
Like butterfly wings
that makes it
sparking a tornado, that kind of thing.
difficult to see like one of the
Guerrilla actions,
close endings that you can get.
exposure to
True.
corrupt politicians,
which is
rising
you
grain
not the
prices,
it's not well it's part of the way to the
dying
ending.
of an era in the Middle
When
East.
you get to talk to Parker at the
All
end,
of these
and
things have
he
the
tells you
potential to
kind of
create a
about
larger
like his big
catastrophe.
plans and the things that he's been
Controlling the
thinking about this whole time,
repercussions of these events
and you
will
can point out all the
influence
flaws
the
in his
information you need
analysis.
to fight
Yeah.
back
If you do
and
lots of
raise
certain
that
things, but here's the thing: if his opinion
That
is too low of you,
my job.
he'll just think that you're a liar and a fast talker, and he
So
won't
when I'm
believe
in
you.
the field, my orders come
If he
from
thinks
you,
decently
or
well enough,
another
he'll be like,
analyst. My
"Fuck."
job is what?
He doesn't actually say that, but he just says like,
Yes, it's a numbers game.
I trust you to
decisions must be
actually
made
have proof of all of this. So,
If the decisions are
What's
solely
next?
reactive or passive, well, then you operate.
but yeah,
with these
this
events.
dialogue is
So sometimes
very,
you
very
create
important.
events.
For political equilibrium, yes, at times.
Yeah.
At other times,
Because
America and
he
economic
sets up
advantage.
not only his
I
role
thought we
in
were
Alpha
mostly
Protocol,
mission-driven.
But his role in the
Is-
finale.
But he
and his
ignores
role
the
in
effect that
Alpha
even
Protocol,
simple
the
mind
game,
interactions
like
have on
secretly,
the
like
structure of a
he just
mission.
talks about his role in Alpha
Carry
Protocol,
the
but
logic one step
and
up.
this is a huge spoiler for the endgame, but I think it's so important to go over it right here. Parker is the one
like
that
working
sets up
My
most of the
responsibility
events
is on account
that
of
happen in the game.
Yeah.
And
No, I
he's doing
actually thought you
exactly
were
these sort of things,
janitor
trying to
when I
make active
That would either be an
changes
insult or
in the
an
world
excellent
to
deduction.
tip the balance in
And guess
favor
I'm the
of
former.
interests
I was
aligned
actually
with
just trying
Alpha
to make
Protocol,
conversation.
with the United States government,
Why
and
would
with
that be an excellent deduction?
especially with
Because,
how
agent, Alpha Protocol
Yeah,
can
and
maintain plausible
there's also
deniability
this
as long
this
as
whole
no one
thing
knows
is
we
like
exist.
the
That
tutorial
must
for like how you
continue
manage the
cleaning and
conversation in the
scouring
game
data,
because like you're
masking
trying
the
to influence
communication
things in the same
lines,
way,
and
right?
protecting our global
Through
position.
through how you interact
I
with the different
understand.
NPCs and
That must be a
factions and all
full-time
of that.
task and an important one.
I never thought about that,
Even
but
Westridge
that is
said
actually
I was
right.
the
Like
most important
how
post in
you
the
can turn
facility.
people into
So in short,
your allies
yes,
by the end of the
I
game,
explained
or
that
your
from
mortal
the
enemies, or
beginning.
turn two people into mortal enemies of each other who were
Yeah.
staunch
Yeah,
allies
you can
beforehand.
you can definitely pin people against each other because there are also inborn rivalries between factions
that
or
mean
even characters.
Place cannot be found.
And then
Alpha
like
Protocol is
the
compromised.
lead
Any
up to
evidence
the
of
ending can go
program
like
must be
massively
deleted.
different ways, which is really interesting.
Which is a shame because like we were at that point in the last LP, we just didn't like
What happens?
finish
What do
it.
you mean, agent?
I know we were gonna get to see Stephen Heck as our handler, which I've never seen, except for
What
his
happens in the program?
his
Seems
little
like a waste of
finale scene
resources.
You are correct.
where he says
Defend
one of the
starts again
one of the
under
great
different
lines in the game,
with a new agenda.
which is Michael Thorne's like,
Sound like
well,
we've
no,
done
if
this
Alpha
before.
Protocol, if this all was like a real operation,
classified.
if there's not something deeper that we've just totally missed.
Or perhaps
Nick's like, what? You mean like
Are we done
an
here?
Alpha
I think I got
Protocol?
some questions.
Whoa! And he gets like a mind blown
The
sort of
others
thing.
can wait.
It's good.
All right, now it's time to see Mr. Darcy, spoiled rich kid.
We'll also hear more about Parker's little nudges in one of his dossiers. I think he talks like, oh no, actually we kind of hear about it from Heck in one of Heck's emails. He
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
like
that's
he
great. Thanks.
Heck's time cube stuff like that, but he also
Alright,
references things
Just
that
busting your chops.
basically
I don't
Parker
know
actually
about it.
mentions,
You
like
and me should get along fine.
changing the
Even
price of
advocates.
certain commodities by small
Glad you
amounts.
finally showed up.
And hoping that
We
will
got
lead to a
lost
knock
on the
effect.
way here, or we're too busy beating up some.
It was actually a
more
weird
cars.
intersection of some of the much more
This is
serious
the only
characters, much
orientation I
goofier
had to
characters
take
in
it.
this game,
I arrived
Yeah.
as quickly as I could.
which is a
Yeah, sure.
is
Oh, by
an
the
interesting
way,
thing that the game
not
has.
a
Some
good
characters
idea.
are super
Hitting the guards,
serious,
I mean.
like Parker is
Once you have a lot
extremely
of time on
serious.
their hands,
Whereas
And
Darcy
some
is much
characters
more
are,
like
like,
loosey goosey.
grudges.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but
It's
Darcy is still,
expected to be
you could
fun and
imagine
attacked.
him as kind of a
Good agents
normal
ready for
character in a
anything.
realistic TV show type thing.
Enough chit chat.
It's
Or
not
even
like
in
Stephen
realistic.
Heck or
Well,
what's her name? The
you
Russian
do.
lady. What's her
I'm
name?
Z,
C?
she's German.
Yeah. C.
I'll
No,
be
different
doing
one.
Your evaluation too.
What's that
Uh,
out there?
I'm
Used
I'm
Sis?
getting
A target
No.
Sis is a little off the
For
wall.
me, more
But
like a
yeah,
shooting
We don't know what
range.
nationality she is.
Head out the door there.
Yeah.
We'll get started.
It might
Sis
have
and
been-
Darcy both like answer the problem I
Breakout,
have with this game
guy.
though. Now that we're talking about them, where both of them feel like their stories are incomplete. Like they kind of like drop off the face of the earth at a certain point in the story, and then they never get talked about ever again. Both Sis and Darcy. Down G to aim and then release.
I'm trying to remember because the way this game works is like at that endpoint where it like goes through it decides who your handler is and all that.
Yeah.
That's when a lot of stuff drops off. because like you go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Those
yeah.
depends.
Once you've decided on the basically the other ones
Now how about something more
almost have no
challenging?
effect
Try
except for
ricochet at the target
G22.
behind the wall.
Because if
Lock
you've
it
pissed them
behind
off,
the target.
they
Use the
will
wall
still
for a
come to the
hook shot.
island, even if you. I think they will, even if you don't choose them as your hand. Well,
Yeah.
they won't help you if you piss them off, but they will
Yeah.
come to the island just trying to kill you
Try and get one through the
and trying
window.
to kill Alpha Protocol agents on the way there.
Yeah. But like the thing with Darcy, like the weirdest thing with him is that like you have this whole mission in Saudi Arabia where like he's one of your 3 handlers,
Now for some fire.
and then like after
Try
this
and
he
shut
goes
one
away
window
until the
and
very
try
end of the
to take out
game.
the gas tank.
Like, and you don't
Yeah.
ever see him again for the rest of the game.
No, well, you do get emails from him.
You get emails, but like
And the
him
funny
as
thing
a
is you can
character, like
actually-
his effect on
Yeah.
the plot is like 0.
Well, yeah, because the different plots are like.
Oh, I mean,
There's
his dad
some
has more of an
connections,
effect on the
you know.
plot,
Yeah.
and his dad never shows up and never has a speaking line.
I don't remember what I'm supposed to do here.
You gotta throw it under the truck, and you gotta make
Oh,
a
to
big
blow
boom.
the truck up. Okay.
Yeah. It's really funny because I'm on delay, so as soon as I said under the truck, you immediately like threw it in the bed of the truck,
Yeah.
and then you did it again. So I have to assume that.
And that's
that
still
was
not far enough.
Alright, you're gonna have to like
forward.
pick up something.
Go
Alright,
forward
so-
from the wheels, like behind the front wheel.
Use your
Yeah,
EMP
in
when you
between
shut
the
it down.
set of 2 and the
There
set of
you
1.
go.
Time in the field.
All right.
Because that was the gas tank there.
I guess I'm about 2 seconds or something behind Aldowyn.
Oh,
And
I
how
should
far are you
probably
behind? Do we
switch.
know?
I'm not sure.
One of our
Switch to
funniest
manuals.
early moments was when we had to redo this mission by accident,
Mm-hmm.
and then hold on, I want to see if you just did it.
My God, this weapon wheel.
Did
We're
you
having a
throw?
lot of-
Did you
Weapon
throw a
wheel is
grenade at it?
garbage.
You're having a lot of trouble with that selection scene, aren't you?
Yeah, that I'm thankful I don't actually use these gadgets a whole lot in the actual game.
There you go.
Um,
That took forever, God.
It's shut
Because that looks like it's clearly designed for a controller.
It is.
The radial menu.
Yeah.
Those suck with mice. There you go.
Let me guess. You want me to place one on the door?
Yeah, I really don't know why they didn't just why they didn't just change it to a number of keys. Just
nice.
Yeah.
And just
strange,
in time.
especially for the powers.
Yeah.
Guess some of the other
Especially
guys will be
since
pulling
you don't
that
even need that many
for a
numbers
while.
because there's
Not that many
all
powers.
use the same slot. The weapon
You know those
powers.
guards you beat up when you got out of medical? Yeah, well, they're gonna be joining us in a second.
Oh, but yeah, in the original disclosure alert, we had to redo this twice.
Yeah.
And Aldowyn threw grenades at the wall instead of EMPs, which I think New Dark Cloud just did.
Yeah, I
again.
think
so. What I'm seeing here is a lot of karmic payback for.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not playing. It's not because my can't handle the streaming and my internet access is really terrible or anything like that. No, it's so that I don't have to look like a fool after making fun of Aldowyn for
Yeah.
an entire year.
Yeah. But I
Oh
made it-
yeah,
I
you
made it
just
work.
punch him out. Oh,
Doc's gonna be pissed.
Can you imagine if this game actually had decent combat?
I'll give you a breakdown on your
he might
performance.
actually get taken down here.
No.
I don't think so.
He's got it. He just got hit
So,
a few
Mikey,
times there.
you did all right on the
But yeah, here we beat the gadget tutorial using punches.
And we need to do it again because I got 2 points, not enough.
Good job. Good job. Way too.
Looking to give it
Wow,
another
your time was
shot,
still
Mikey?
fine, but you took a lot of damage. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Like this course is actually super easy to beat. I just fucked it up.
All right then.
Yeah. Pretty
Tell your
pretty
team to get
pretty
ready.
severely.
Like it's weird. The gadget training almost doesn't require you to actually use the gadgets.
Use them all, just come back and
I mean,
grab
you do to open the
All
door
right,
and
everyone's favorite.
to blow up the.
Oh, don't make me do the whole fucking thing again.
They're concussion rounds, so don't be skittish.
Fuck you, game.
Kill.
Keep talking, and nobody explodes.
Keep talking, and that truck does not explode.
You know, this doesn't seem like the best way to use grenades. Is to just sit there, wait for them to pop up and shoot you, and then
Alright,
take
now
like
how
2
about something
seconds
more
to like aim a
challenging?
grenade
Try
at one
ricochet to
person.
hit the target behind the wall.
That doesn't seem like
Lob
typical
it
use.
behind the
I
Like
will
this
say
is
something-
it's a weird to
something
have
really
this
cool about
training
grenades.
because you basically never use like gadgets. Like it
I
just
mean, it depends. It's just a pain. Like they'd be useful, but
And once threw a gadget, threw a grenade through a broken window. This is a disclosure alert, but this is one of the best like grenade moments ever. And it like knocked out one broken glass piece of the window. Like the window shattered, but only one bit actually fell off. And there's shattered windows have these really weird Jacobon physics or whatever, where like they're individual plates that then can get knocked off one by one. Like the 2 credits has Aldowyn just shooting with a pistol each of these panes out one by one by one on the window.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a great time when he threw a grenade through one and it just like, knocked out one pane and then killed everybody behind it. You know?
Yep.
Just this weird physics situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, gadgets do feel very very underused, and I think it's partly because of I mean the maps are very linear. You move through the maps. You don't often like have to say set up traps for people going by because you're often just moving to the next area very shortly afterwards. It's a very making progression sense. All right, yeah, you're just doing it wrong. There you go.
There's at least one on the damn wall. There you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
easy.
good job.
Actually, super easy once you know what you're doing.
You did all
Yeah.
right on the basic.
Yeah, that was actually a takedown of him.
Yeah, I think he took 2 of them down with the EMP and then just punched them.
No, I mean the punch on the last one I think was a takedown.
Yeah, with a takedown punch.
Oh.
I got him off guard.
Okay.
Multi-guard takedown, 10 points.
You know, that performance wasn't half bad. Almost as good as my record. How about we up the stakes? Take this to the big
Sure, let's up the stakes.
What do you have in mind?
All right, me and the guards, who you already met when you
Is
pooled our petty
call me
cash.
Mikey again one more time and I'll knock you on your ass. Only the veteran option.
Right.
Yes, it is.
It's a rematch. On
Yeah,
our
you got to be a veteran
Actually
to
surprised that
pull.
wasn't better.
It's basically you pulling rank on him.
the area and the time
Because
for
you're a
round.
better,
that's fair.
because you know you're better than he is.
If you lose,
Whereas if you're a fresh-faced recruit, you can't pull rank because you just came out of college.
just head into the range and we'll get to it.
And he's an agent, even if he is a
Alright,
spoiled
then.
rich kid.
Tell your team to get ready.
Yeah, I gotta say the recruit dialogue options have not been very interesting so far.
Yeah, the veteran's a lot
Which is a
more
shame because
interesting.
we're showing off some unique content there. Like we could just be showing off the regular dialogue, which might be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
One major problem I have while playing this game is I'm like an incessant sort of quick save, quick load to
Yeah.
see all of the possible like dialogue options in a conversation, and you cannot do that at all in this game. This game uses a checkpoint save system, and it is pretty awful.
And even so, like the trees are pretty complicated too.
The trees are also very like it wouldn't work anyway because of how things trigger on down the line, especially. But like I can often spend time like while playing Mass Effect games or whatever, I would often like reload a conversation just to like do the investigate op in a different order to make a more natural flow to the conversation.
Even though the game absolutely does not care.
No, but it's a natural. No, the game doesn't care, but I care because I'm watching it, and I think it makes for a more interesting and naturalistic experience. But here's a what matters there is the order that ideas get introduced into the conversation. It does not matter the timing of the pauses in between it. Like one of the major reasons for Alpha Protocol having a dialogue system like it, and you know with the timer countdown is to create a more natural flow of conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't think it does.
It
I
doesn't,
think it
not
makes-
really. I in theory like the idea.
Worse.
It's just
Because you often don't know what they're saying
Yeah.
before you've given your answer. You know
Yeah.
what you're going to say, either.
Yeah.
Or, like the specific words, and so you end up with like more stilted between them, or just a bigger disconnect between what the player's going to expect and what the player actually sees. Just what the player saw in the first line and what they see in the second line, because they missed last 10 words of the line
Yeah.
because they were looking at which WASD answer they were going to give.
Hey, you're the
Yeah.
The subtitles also have a problem that they show very few words in each line. See, like here we've got 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 words.
Yeah, because that's
I mean,
a
that was
complicated
only-
problem because of the way they have the reputation set up, because it relies on like on the SWAL addresses.
Get her
and
name
that's
wrong.
all.
Get her name wrong.
Oh,
Honestly,
too
you
late.
get to say
You're like
something
way
really
too
dumb.
late.
Oh.
Memory intact?
Oh.
Speaking of which, which I don't remember where.
The wor-
But yeah, so like,
He has
That's
really
very
bad
personal items,
dialogue.
it's quite
Right?
routine.
yeah,
wouldn't
it's
worry
weird
about
because you
that.
have these sharp
Let's get
delineations
down to the
between the
task
different
at hand.
styles. Dragon
I'm
Age
here to
2 did
run
the
you through
same
the
thing,
weapons
right?
training and test your
Yeah.
accuracy.
Where you have these three
Sounds
different categories of
serious?
responses. So bouncing from
Absolutely.
one category
Excel
to the
with the
next
Academy.
often
This should be
feels
fun.
really
It feels
off.
dumb.
All
Yeah.
right.
Like
Um,
you feel like you're a whole different character when you do that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I am the suave Thornton, and I'm the aggressive Thornton, and now I'm the
Yeah.
professional boring Thornton.
It's pretty tiresome.
And it's all in the
Yeah.
span of 3 seconds. It feels fucking weird.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of that is
head
because
through
you're
the door to
supposed
the
to
firing
be like,
range,
hey, I'm going to be
and I'll keep
professional
in
towards
contact
this
with you over the
character and
earpiece.
be professional in this
Head over to the
conversation.
table, get your
But
weapons.
it doesn't.
But if you want to do that, then just
naturally-
have me choose the attitude at the beginning of the conversation.
It doesn't handle the transitions very well, because I'm sure there are transitions that work pretty well. Like I'm being professional and like, okay, now it's time to put the hammer down and turn aggressive or whatever.
Well, the other idea is that you can learn mid-conversation that a person will prefer a different attitude.
And aim down range
Yeah.
and take some shots.
Like if you start out being suave to hung shit or something, you're gonna quickly find out like, okay, that's not a good attitude to use if I want to make him like me.
Yeah.
So maybe I should try professional. Oh, that does.
Good aim.
That's why there's like multiple different ones, and you can often get multiple plus ones or minus ones in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Precision
that
shots will
actually
take down a
does
target
kind of work,
quickly.
but and it's hampered by the timer dialogue system. It's also really hampered, I think, by the fact that you can't see what
Now,
directly
You're
you're
let's
actually
move
going to
on
say,
the submachine gun.
which I think would be a much better way of. I think it's just a much better way of actually
let's
forming
empty the clip.
naturalistic conversations.
Let you get a feel for the
Yeah.
recoil.
Deus Ex Human Revolution just showed you exactly.
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what
just weird.
dialogue-
This
and
like
that made for better things.
yeah, like this
What
game
didn't
came
better
out
things.
before that game, and like that game took a similar idea
Now
and just
take
like,
cover.
oh, here's exactly what you're going to do. Like this is exactly
Still using cover.
what you're going to say.
Take some shots at the target.
What didn't work well in Human Revolution is the the actual times when you were changing people's opinion
Yeah,
with your dialogue. It was totally random.
that
What they actually
frustrates me
prefer.
so much.
It was just a
Yeah.
mini game. It was not like an actual story, actual character development thing.
Now
Like
try
you
popping
do
out
Alpha
and
Protocol.
focusing your aim.
So
was
frustrating.
Use cover to your advantage.
It was just a
Yeah,
random.
it's like a boss battle almost. In a
Yeah,
way.
you have like these boss battle conversations, and that's a common thing in games, right?
I've
Especially
unlocked
in
the
like
door to the
Obsidian style
tactical
games
range
where
on
you
your
have these
right.
conversations. But
Let's see how
they
you
do it
against
randomly, I
multiple
guess for
targets.
replay value, which, but it completely wrecks the characterization of those characters. Like the first one in like the police station or whatever, and it's random, and it's so weird because like you have this history,
Yeah,
and
Haas.
it's very clear he has like a personality and everything, and then you do the freaking boss battle conversation to convince him to let you through, and it's random. And it's like why would you do that?
I mean, there are pretty big variations in what you can try to do. Like you can try to, like, kind of make him feel like he shouldn't feel as guilty for his actions, or you can press him really hard on that guilt and just like grind him to the dust like a jackass. But like that, there could be the appropriate time to do that. Or
Now for the shot.
well, I think like what really they should have done with Human Revolution is
Holding the trigger steady and firing.
thought about like they wrote so much dialogue for those dialogue trees.
Mhm.
They should think about which playthroughs of those are winning ones. Like you have to get 2 of these points home in order to convince this person of something, right? Or
Okay.
in order to piss them off or something like that. Or maybe get these 3 points or these 2 points and don't make these 2 points because they'll
Yeah.
think you're disingenuous or something like that. That would be more of a reputation. So that would be more of actually like a convincing system.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was a game that did something similar to that, but I can't remember what it was. I'll have to think of it.
And that's enough.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like if you had like you're trying to get like points in the conversation and
Powerful. Just be sure to line
maybe
up
it
your
was
shots carefully.
All Walls Must Fall. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't. Although I wasn't actually, just to be clear, I wasn't talking about like specifically each dialogue option works out to a certain number of points, but rather these dialogue options together make a success. And say if
Yeah.
you
Okay.
did one different one, say you did like
Watch for attackers from above.
pardon,
It may be outreach,
press,
but not rifle range.
pardon, or something like that. That might be a valid way through. But say, pardon might not be.
Yeah.
Or
That's it.
press
Take the letter,
pardon
get up and back.
maybe.
All done.
Because I know
Like,
there was.
it would be based upon like the actual text that's there and the actual argument that you're trying to present, and there's going to be like some
Yeah, there was a
developer bias in that.
Okay,
but
yeah, I think in All Wolves Must Fall is you're trying to get them to certain emotional states, and like different answers push their emotional states in certain directions, and there can be more than one way
Right.
through it because they can have more than one emotional state. That
The other problem with that, though, is that like there is also clearly
somebody on
like
the course?
a certain correct answer that each like reply is supposed to tell you, lead you into.
Good luck to him.
And if you don't do that, you'll end up just fucking up the boss conversation. So like, if you want to go through that kind of run, it's really hard. You have to reload several times sometimes just to get the possibility of the exact emotion state you want.
oh, this is just painful to watch.
We're gonna have to
That
do a cage
recruit.
match.
Not if I can
Oh,
help it.
that recruit dialogue
But no,
option. He
Mom,
wishes
we don't
Darcy
do cage
well.
matches as part of the training.
Oh,
Why?
so
Why?
can I get
Yeah,
my score in
it's like Michael Thornton the dipshit. Actually,
it's like
It really is.
it's
one of
very
the most
frustrating.
impressive
He's
scores
literally
I've
just
seen.
like repeating things back to people and
With
stuff.
that in mind,
yeah.
you did
I
so well.
forgot how bad
Maybe
the rookie option is.
challenging. A bonus round.
This course is a joke.
I thought recruit was gonna be more of like
I could walk the rest
they
of the
would sell
way.
it more as like
Jackass.
underdog fish out of
Yeah.
water a little bit, like,
So will
or
Darcy.
maybe having to like
Did I mention
sell
we don't use
themselves as
live rounds?
more competent than they
It's
really
just
are.
steam
Yeah.
round.
And or
But
maybe
no,
like
it's
following
Michael
right
Thornton,
through
the
it,
inept
but no.
If you
dipshit.
can hit Darcy where it
or
counts,
maybe like
I'll do
naive
it
instead of just
recommendation in
ignorant,
mind.
which is how he's
Yeah.
coming off.
Some
It's
luck with
Michael Thornton,
Westridge.
Paragon.
Need to be
Shepherd.
Yeah.
Sure, sounds good. Any preference?
Like, he
on
looks like
weapons?
someone who posts on Reddit.
Easy for someone to hit.
Well, I mean, you also made him look bad.
Give me the gun.
I mean, even Base Thornton looks like someone like some kind of
Don't
like
worry.
Man.
douchebag.
So you
Man.
won't be doing any lasting harm to your targets. Besides,
Man, he's gonna.
turnabout is
Okay, so
fair
are we gonna
play.
have to take control
They drugged
of
you,
Thornton?
so-
Because otherwise he might like. I mean, he might shoot Darcy in the neck or something like that. You've got to exercise some control here, Cloud. Shoot him in the proper place.
Oh, too bad.
All right, you're all done.
You were fast enough. The lag.
Rip. Oh.
You gotta be faster on the draw, my friend.
Oh, it's like 15 seconds or something.
Yeah.
All right.
See, this is why I did research
Well
beforehand.
done.
Yeah. So you actually know what's
Critical
happening. Unlike
I don't think you have to
someone,
worry about Darcy coming by
aka
again.
me.
Anything else I can do?
No, Agent Thornton.
Anyway, you're
Mission
supposed to shoot him in the balls.
accomplished.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do.
If you
Yeah.
haven't seen
And he
Westridge
says
yet,
the great
you might
line.
wanna pay him a visit after
That
all
wasn't
the
as much fun as I
training's
thought.
over. You've certainly faced
I have had that line before, yeah, so I know what you're talking about. All right, so we've done all the introductions. We've met our motley crew of spies that will spend the entire game getting to know and love. And now we gotta talk to our boss, Mr. Yancey Westridge. Hey, Yancey boy!
You guys must have spent a fortune on the TV.
And because we did all the orientation, Westridge's gonna love us a little bit more.
You tell me.
You're using Edge.
Now you're learning.
Well, I had
I have to admit,
Firefox
I was
wouldn't
worried
load,
whether we'd be able to keep
Yeah,
you
okay.
here after
and I
you woke up
didn't
at
want to go
night.
bother
Gave
installing,
our
so
staff
I
a
never
run for its
usually
money.
use it.
Yeah.
Gave it my
Yeah, I have
best, and so did
my
they.
computer bricked
Fair enough.
a couple of months ago,
Really a good
and I just had to
example of the
get a
more
new one,
drills
and I haven't
around here.
Yeah.
bothered
Looks
installing
you
like a
did
lot of
well on the
fringe
tech
things
portion
on
of
it.
the test.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Past
Like I don't use Chrome regularly. I only use it. I probably only used it for
Mina's report
like
on
streaming
the
Twitch,
weapons
but
was
for
impressive.
viewing
In fact,
Twitch beforehand.
I think you outperformed
Yeah.
many other guards.
I don't know
And
why
it's your
Firefox
first day.
wouldn't work. Who knows?
What can I say? Top of my class at the academy. If you read my charts. You did read them, didn't you?
Oh, I did. It was hard getting through the pages detailing your overconfidence.
Well, as long as you read the charts, that's all that matters.
I'm not sure if everyone Westridge like
Almost
us or not
surprised
yet.
Mina was paying attention to my firing skills at
Doesn't
all,
like it actually matters.
Careful. If you get any more full of yourself, not even this facility will be able to hold your ego. And here's a surprise. A positive evaluation from Parker. On the number side as usual. But he actually took the time to write a
It feels
sentence.
weird
He did.
choosing an aggressive response to these
what was the sentence?
overwhelming
You may
praise
have been right
on
about this
you.
one, Westridge.
Yeah.
For Parker, that's
And then he's
high
still mad at
praise.
you, like,
Assuming you don't let us down, Mike.
Well, no, we chose Suave, of course, which is why he doesn't like us. But like, I can't imagine like being like, oh, by the way, this guy really likes you. He likes you a lot. No, fuck him. I hate him, you piece of shit. What's wrong with you? Like, who would choose that?
What makes you think
What'd you choose?
I chose Suave.
No, I chose duty. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I chose Duty.
Which is
Or
professional.
Yeah.
a rhetorical question.
Yeah, but surprising. You always suave.
Beyond the guns, tech, and sneaking
I think
around,
I
there's one
chose
last part
thrills
of
on
this
my
job
first
that
time
nobody
through.
else
I think that's what
quite
we
gets.
for disclosure alert too.
I think
The important
yeah.
part there is that
Listening
at the
is
end
a
of the
large
game,
part of it.
we will
The way you
be
talk
in this
to
room.
Your attitude.
There's
We'll
an
see this training
ironic
device here.
echo.
We're being interrogated. And
I'm not
we
sure I
literally get
understand.
this
Is there
moment
something
played
wrong
here.
with
It's
how
like,
we deal
with
oh, and
it?
why did you do this? And you get to choose an answer, and then it shows up on the screen what you actually did, and you probably here choose something like, look, I gotta stop what you guys are doing because you're about to start World War III or whatever. And it shows up on the screen. Oh, I just do it for the thrills, like basically an adrenaline junkie. He's like, oh, how the times change, isn't it? But here we'll see on the screen, oh, I do my duty, and he's like, oh, well, I guess no character development. Oh well.
So this was a cool thing that Alpha Protocol talked about way back in the day. The cool like mechanic, which was a bad reputation with someone could also end up being a good thing for you in the long term.
Yeah.
Like it is okay, and sometimes it's starting to piss somebody off to get what you want.
Yeah.
There are no bad fixes, only results.
Yeah, it's about manipulating people, right? Into doing what you want them to do, not necessarily getting everyone to like you, like if you typically play a Bioware game.
This is
Yeah.
a long way of telling me that I should just.
Where you don't have anybody buddy, and sometimes being an asshole is the best option.
Dragon Age 2 tried to do that to where like you could have a relationship with someone that was more negative.
Rivalry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how well that worked in practice. Because the issue is you have to act like very differently to different people to get them to like you, right?
Yeah.
And it's extremely natural for a lot of people that play those games to be like, okay, I'm gonna make everyone like me because that's how you play these games.
Yeah.
So people don't do a great job of like playing as a character and letting these relationships develop naturally.
But is that less an issue of the game itself and more as the way RPGs have trained us over the
I think it's
years?
both. I think it's both.
So if you need to get to the point,
Because like
act instead of fight.
the way
For example,
conversations like
you
they
don't think I
have
have any
like
more to
the ways
teach
the
you,
relationships
then
are
you could just
depicted
say,
in
"I'm
between
done with
characters,
this."
like
I wouldn't think any less of you. You seem to have
like
the
you're not gonna
basics
play
And
like
if
Mass
they're a
Effect and
target,
get
why talk
Garrus
to them at
to
all?
hate you, right?
Yeah.
down. Sometimes it is better.
But
if you
even in
shoot
Dragon
first.
Age, it's
Still approaching
I don't even
someone
know.
to talk to
It
them
doesn't
can
seem to
allow you
work
to
that
get
way.
the drop on them if
I've
you
never
Although-
gotten
enough to
rivalries
strike.
that make sense.
Use it if you have
Mass
to,
Effect 1,
if
you
the conversation
can
isn't going your way.
get Garrus to like
Assuming there's even
hate
a way you want the
himself.
conversation to go.
Yeah, it's
So
more
how
like
do I know what provokes
sort of.
someone
You get him
to
to change his
route
mind
them
on
if I
certain
can't?
things.
Yeah.
You can do that with Cayden
That's
as well in
what
the
you
game,
wanna
much
do,
to a
pay
much
attention to the
greater
clues
degree.
in your
You could do
environment.
that in Origins. They call it
Sometimes
hardening,
people will have
especially with
advice
Yeah.
Alistair and
intel
Liliana,
now, But there's another
Um,
way.
and that had some
Read
different
much?
reactions. Like
Well, I
in
read the
order to
recruiting
get
pamphlet, got me this
Alistair
far.
to choose the
There's a
option
host of
to get
information
Alistair
out
to
there
do the
through
thing with
dossiers,
Morgan
email,
and
other
do
documents
the
that
ritual,
represent total
he
research
has to be
others have
hardened,
collected on a
so you
target
have to
organization.
get him to like not be
or
so goody
operation.
two shoes and stuff.
And what does that get me?
So
exactly?
Bioware's experimented with that
Sometimes
stuff
you'll
in the
spot
past,
obvious
but
triggers.
I don't know that
People who
they've
don't
gone
respond well
that
to
route
smart
in a
asses
while.
like me. Others who respect
Casually
loyalty,
showing
duty,
all the major
a
characters in the
professional approach.
upper right
Yeah.
screen.
Others who don't have time for
I was
bullshit.
like, yeah, there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. Interesting. You know,
The
they
dossiers
just know
don't contain
all of these
site
people are
information.
involved.
Yep.
Usually have combat information
I mean,
on the
obviously, it's
target
just
as well.
they're just reusing
What
the hard
side they
assets,
favor,
but
any past
it
injuries,
looks funny
common
from
weapons or
a
tactics.
returning player.
It looks like a welcome to the game, player. How may I help you?
Push comes to
Kind of
shove, they
thing.
give you an edge in combat. The more you've done
Thanks,
your
Avina.
homework, the more vulnerable
Yeah.
they'll be.
So when the guns come out, the dossier can come into play. Have you read?
That
my-
wasn't like that's kind of true, but only like in a sense. Like if you get a complete dossier on a boss, you get a bonus on them, like a bonus on damage boost.
Sometimes reading a
That
dossier
doesn't
gives you
really
the
effectively
options of
matter.
dealing with others.
Like it's a 5% boost. It's like if you're playing, it's like an
that's
extra
not
1 point of damage.
You should already know what
Yeah.
makes me happy, Mike.
It'd be like
It pisses me off.
and the dossier
How do I
should be
know
more
when I have to
interesting
go
in
ahead
like
and start
telling you what
accessing
their
files?
their
After meeting
Yeah,
with
or like
what
what their
they like.
vulnerabilities are, or like what their
Someone
weaknesses
else,
are.
you should have
Well,
a
the
target
dossiers
ID.
do say those
Hop
for
onto the
a number of
database
them.
and
The
start
question is
doing
whether
your
they
homework.
actually
You can
happen
easily
in
unlock their
game.
basic information
Yeah.
at that
Like
point.
this is
Let's
this is
start with a
something
simple one.
I brought up in
Al-Samad.
disclosure alert
That should be
because that's
familiar to you.
all
The terrorist group.
Yes, you can
each
research
of the
groups as
each of
well as
the
people.
like
It doesn't carry
Mook
the same
factions have their own
benefits,
data
but it
info, and they will
provides
say
useful intel in
they
the
are
field.
weak to particular
Talking to
things
people
because of the
about
types of
others is a
equipment
good
they
way
use,
to
or
help
Yeah.
they will tell you the
dossier
kind of
information.
tactics they prefer, kind of
Sometimes
weapons that
people
they
will have
prefer.
information on
Yeah.
someone that can unlock a brand
but
new thread in your computer search.
How much does that
Okay,
actually
so I've suffered through
happen
your
in gameplay?
interrogation.
Like, a lot of times the
An idea
G22
what
and
you
VCI
need.
people
Am I
act the same
ready
way,
or
even though
not?
We'll
in
see.
story they should act totally differently.
Meet me in
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
in game though, a mook is a mook for the most part.
Good. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm sick
but
of this
like
room.
I would be more
Trust
interested
me,
in
Mike.
seeing how it
If it
affects
was up
like
to
story
me,
decisions and
you'd
dialogue
never see
decisions.
this
Because that seems like the
interrogation
kind of thing
cell
that you would look at a dossier for, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is this person's personality and how they react to personalities of these types.
Or
Yeah.
like something like he doesn't wear armor, so maybe hollow point bullets will work better.
Recognize him?
That
Yeah.
Sheikh
Yeah,
Al-Shahid,
that's something that
the voice of Al-Samad.
doesn't come off in the dossier. Like, a lot of the times when you use dossiers and conversations, it is
Yeah. He got his
literally
hands on
just
some
because you've
prototype
collected
combat
enough
technology.
information that you
The
know
missile with a
someone's
multi-stage targeting system
backstory
called
enough to
Jacob's
be able to
ladder.
manipulate them in a
That
particular way,
airline
or you know
was
some
Yeah.
secret about
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
because you've seen someone
How did
else's
she
dossier
get
that
his hands
reveals,
on that
oh,
missile?
this person betrayed them past,
Missile.
and they didn't know
He's
about it.
got more.
Yeah.
Stolen from Halbeck in the
Those are the secret like dossier files that are actually the most interesting ones.
Understood, but if the opportunity
This, by the
presents
way,
itself to
is an
take him along,
important point.
if you can. Either way,
Yeah,
run
right
out
here.
of the picture, and away
Yancey
from
says
anyone. Take the
Halbeck
broadcast.
explicitly. They
If I
stole
can
it from
come
Halbeck.
back here,
At the
I
beginning
will.
of the game, when we were watching
All
the
right, then,
television,
pack your gear.
well,
You're heading
after
to
the
Saudi
very beginning
Arabia.
tutorial, but we're watching the
Not coming with
3-minute
I'll be there in
television
spirit.
thing
Send
by
out video
Shahid,
and radio
and you're
waves.
hacking the computer.
And I
One of
just
those
got
emails
here. Oh,
talks
well,
about them
missed this place.
recovering the sabot from the
I
missiles
got
that
it.
took down
I'll contact
the
you when
airliner,
in Saudi
and
Arabia.
like it matches no known manufacturer that they know of. Like missile make it is, they don't even know who made it. So it's clearly like brand new tech. And here Yancey just flat out says it's Halbeck to you. So that's a good hint ahead of time. It's a very, very subtle one there, but that's a pretty good hint ahead of time that Yancey and Alpha Protocol know more than they
They're letting
really
on.
wanted to. And that what they know more is that they know Halbeck sold the missiles to the terrorists. They helped Halbeck sell the missiles to those terrorists because they were in on Halbeck's plan. Alpha Protocol is the bad guy. Who knew?
Which, spoiler alert, we are going to.
Oh, huge
Yeah.
spoiler. But
Yeah.
it's really important to like understanding the
Yeah.
complex and conspiracy thing of the game. Like, it is not just a normal, you're the spy person to go kill the terrorist or whatever. No. You get burned by
Here to explain how
by
Halbeck
the
lost
agency
its
that you've
missiles.
literally just joined because
Old news.
you're there to clean up their
That's
mess and
Although I
be
guess
killed.
it feels like now in the year of our Lord 2018, that also seems like a cliche plot in and of itself. Is you got
Yeah, but that's
betrayed
what's
by the
really
organization that created you.
Yeah.
2010.
I mean, it's like very much still in the like
Yeah.
post 9/11 era of like
Yeah.
still going pretty heavy in the like Middle Eastern wars and stuff. It's very different now. This was like before like
I think I
ISIS
can figure
and
things
the
out
Syrian
from here,
civil war and stuff like
sir.
that.
It is still important to note because, like, at the time it came out, there were a lot of other games that were also just set in, American agent in Middle East area, and and a more important part about this is that it, number one, it actually ties into particular movements, and it actually like pulls its twist off pretty decently and pretty quickly, and like it has a real twist there.
Yeah,
and then
like
future twists beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the Middle East level
Is
is
that
the
3
first
points
level,
in
and then
pistols,
you
not 3 points in submachine guns? You could have bottomless magazines or some useless thing like that.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Oh right, because it starts in the Middle East. That's your first major area, and then
Yeah.
you go off and do all the other.
It's Middle
like,
East because this was
spy
the
shit.
time when the Iraqi War was a thing that people
Yeah.
still talked about, even though it's still a thing. It's just we don't talk about it anymore.
It's a thing. Anyways, but I really liked. I wanted to go back to something when we got the the mission brief at the end or debrief,
Yeah.
and it talked about how it gives you like I like how those briefs like modify based on how you handled the mission.
Yeah.
It's
I do too.
It's like a
How badly you handled the mission sometimes.
yeah, but it reminds me of like how games like The Walking Dead or Detroit give you the choices at the end, but it doesn't surface the choices. It just shows you like in a diegetic way, like in universe way, like how this was perceived and what you're.
If you haven't already applied the different email options in response to Mina, because you have to see one of them and not choose that one.
So we're gonna be sarcastic. We're gonna be suave and sarcastic, right?
Well, you're gonna be suave on this email? Oh gosh.
No. We're gonna be nice to Mina.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my
Yeah, you gotta
god.
be professional.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Yeah, that's so
professional.
terrible.
We're gonna like her. We're gonna have her like us. I'm not gonna extend any courtesy to Darcy or Yancey. We're gonna be butting heads a lot with those two.
Who likes Darcy?
So-
No one.
Yeah, well, actually, it might be interesting to see because you can. Well, maybe you've already made us hate Darcy, except I don't know. Maybe not. Recruit
yet.
wasn't able to say very
We haven't
many
had the
things-
briefings with him
many
yet,
things to
so
him. It might actually be interesting to try and be nice to Darcy because
It's not.
something that. It's something that I don't think anybody, most people see.
Not a lot of people did. Yeah.
I did in my first run. It changes nothing. It changes literally nothing.
Do you,
Oh.
so you
Well,
still
it
have
changes
the,
his email, but that's all.
So you still have like the fight with him.
Yeah, the fight
Oh,
occurs even if he
absolutely.
likes you. It just
He's just like sorry that he has to try and kill you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's the problem I have with Darcy and Sis in particular is that there is implied to be a lot more there, or a lot more that they wanted to do there, but there's just nothing. Like it's a whole lot of
that
nothing.
happens sometimes. You get like missing threads and things like that, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And it's hard to when you have a game like this where everything is pretty closely
Also-
tied together. You can't pull out all of the Chekhov's guns you didn't use.
Yes, Flail, we're back. 5 years later, we're going to try to finish this. But yeah,
Man, I feel like we're also being really lazy about explaining the game because it's 5 years even further down the line than
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Like this is even further in the past. Like some people might have no idea what this game is, and I mean we've seen it several times. Well, I guess you guys are somewhat
Yeah.
seeing it new again because you just forgotten it all.
So to recap the
Oh,
story so
Mike's
far,
Mike's a vampire, by the way. Mike is a vampire. He does no reflection in the mirror. This is very important for all of the World of Darkness references we got to make in the episodes with Krellin.
Okay, yeah, right. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, to recap
I
the
mean,
story
it's
so
proof he's
far,
a
though,
vampire.
we are
Yeah,
a fresh-faced recruit out of college into this super secret spy organization called Alpha Protocol, and we have a
And we're
mission to stop the Sheikh Ali Shahid from launching a terrorist attack on the United States of America. That is more or less the story so
not-
far.
Well, it's kind of not really.
That we know of so far.
I was gonna say something. I lost my train of thought again. That's
Sorry.
Yeah, the actual one is a terrorist attack has already been launched on an airliner, blew it up. So
Yeah.
our job is to find out where they got these missiles from.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out that they got the missiles because of conspiracy dealing with the people that are hiring us to find out where they got the missiles from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we
Because
gonna
they're not
go ahead
really
and-
hiring us to find out where they got the missiles from.
Are we
They're
gonna
hiring
go
us
ahead
to
and
clean up
start
their
the-
mess.
Start the next mission?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do that?
So.
I mean,
Well,
we've
you
only
gonna? I don't know. Did you?
we've only
Oh,
been
you
going
can see
like an
the picture
hour.
of Darcy on the wall if you want.
Yeah, he went by and triggered the.
Oh, you did.
like-
Okay.
So, the airfield, the stockpile, or the arms dealer?
I don't know.
Let's do the arms dealer, Nazari. Yancey has neutral reputation for us. Here's a little fun fact. Depending
You
on
got all the intel?
your reputation for let's actually let's buy intel. I forgot
Did
I
you
forgot you
forget
can
to buy
actually buy intel from the store. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to do with the store. I forgot.
I even brought this up before the episode as one thing we never showed during disclosure, or we showed very little of it, was all the dossier info, like actually on screen for viewers to pause and read through. And each intel that you get also comes with an email, like explaining how
What
you
the
got that
actual
intel, basically.
yeah,
So
what
we
the
have an
actual intel
anonymous
is.
Yeah,
black
also what the actual
market
intel is.
source offering intel on Naz weapon shipments. No, why
So if you're gonna do that one, yeah.
We have
much money do we have?
American
We got plenty of
Military
money.
Company will run a sortie not far from Naz's location and draw out alert guards, leaving only their second-rate guards on duty when you show up. Mission map for the arm dealer mission for a small fee. It'll give you the map.
But you can look at the more info and also figure it out.
Yeah,
Visual
what I do
supplies.
is just
Tell me the email.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy them all. I don't actually ever read the like. I just end up buying them all straight up.
I mean, you can. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you
the-
can
the-
buy them like before the mission you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And buy the rest of it.
And
certainly what you
in
certainly
lore,
what you want to do when you play this game is check back before you do a
Yeah.
mission, because some missions will unlock more intel.
yes.
Absolutely.
And in lore for this particular base, Darcy's giving you a contact that he is using to supply you with weapons for a price. And so the intel you're getting is through him, essentially. Like they're all like in lore leads that he has given you on things you can find out before you actually end up touching the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll see here, there's just a bunch of interesting little
Okay,
emails.
just a second. I just totally figured, like, here's a way that they really could have worked with Darcy, and especially just like a quick turning moment type thing. So, an important point of conflict between Darcy and Thornton is that Darcy has all the contacts in this area. Darcy actually thinks he's very well suited to this mission, and actually a lot of people also comment that he was kind of the original choice for the mission, or kind of the default.
He
choice
was,
for
and
the
then his
mission.
daddy said, "No, you
Got
can't do
pushed
that
off.
because he might die."
Yeah, yeah, and well, as it turns out, like, yeah, but still, Darcy's very arsey to you about this.
Yeah.
Without really explaining it. But here's the thing: like, Darcy is in Alpha Protocol, and by the end of the game, should know that we're planning on betraying and killing you, basically leaving you for dead type thing.
Yeah.
Would Darcy really want to be in that situation? Maybe what happened. Maybe the truth is that he doesn't actually know all that's going on in Alpha Protocol. That would be a good if you could like collect all the info of like
And like make him realize he's just a pawn.
make him realize he's just a pawn to them. They don't really care about him. And if they had put him in your position, then he would probably be dead. And that might get him to that might actually be a way of developing Darcy. He can still hate you just for like personal reasons.
Yeah.
So you can have a Pritchard Jensen relationship like in Human Revolution. But yeah, that'd be a good way to give him a bit more. You did not be Suave. All right, we've missed all the stuff. This is the correct way to get in, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you say Suave, he says you are American. He goes Canadian, actually. All right then, Canadian. What is your business here?
That's
and he
great.
says, Christmas trees. We're just gonna have to link to every single Disclosure Alert episode.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we did last time.
Well,
Oh man. Here we are with a pair of pistols and a pair of SMGs.
We have two
you gotta
pistols.
use it. Just start using them. There's
I
people.
don't remember
to
how
kill there.
if like we get into a firefight, I'll switch to them. But also I have to first remember how to switch to weapons in this game.
I think there's just a button to bring up your menu. I think there's just a
Just like
button.
they figured out I was
It's like X something.
Oh, I remember doing that like a billion times. Accidentally punching when I was supposed to be activating something.
Yeah.
That's familiar.
I also
Nasri's headquarters are in an old
I need to figure out how to get the controller to work for this game because I tried to use the controller earlier and it wasn't working, and that's starting to really piss me off.
Yeah, you could do that. If that's what you're used to playing, that's
Yeah.
probably a good idea to switch. And this game is... I hate aiming with controllers, but lots of the other stuff in this game is much more clearly meant for a controller. But I think Alpha Protocol is worth discussing because it's like
Yeah.
it's this weird experiment that Obsidian did that's not really comparable to anything they've done since. Because it's like it's the most original thing they've ever done as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
It's kind of not that comparable to anything. Like, it's superficially comparable to a number of things, like Walking Dead and Human Revolution. But
The first Mass Effect it's kind of reminiscent of that to me.
yeah, kind of. More when you incorporate like the game. I mean, I did compare it to Mass Effect 1
Yeah.
in the episodes in Saudi Arabia where I was talking about I really like Mass Effect 1, I really like Alpha Protocol, but they are very unpolished, strange games, but they're very interesting ideas in them.
Yeah.
And that's a lot better than something that's very shallow, but tons of fun to play or something.
Yeah, I don't.
That doesn't stick with you as
I mean,
much.
I played
Like,
this game
don't
8
think about Alpha
times,
Protocol.
so like I clearly had a thing for this game.
That's a lot of times.
No, it's actually interesting because back in 2013 when we did this show, it played it 9 times. So he's actually played it fewer times So we're playing with a new Dark Cloud. No wonder you don't remember any of Disclosure Low. You're the new Dark Cloud from before that.
Wait,
We've invented
let's
time
set up the
travel.
alarm.
I'm sorry. He's Benjamin buttoning his way through.
Where
yeah,
are
I've only
they?
played it 2 or 3 times. I
Oh,
guess I
there
played
you
it
are.
once. I probably only played it once before we actually did Disclosure Alert, and then I played it. Obviously, I was playing before
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Disclosure
what you
Alert,
said before.
and then along with I would play it ahead of time,
Yeah.
so I knew what the hell I was supposed to be doing, and obviously it didn't always.
Like
work.
I literally went through I had the platinum trophy for Alpha Protocol on the PS3. Like I played that game
Yeah.
that many times.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen not every possible permutation because you can't. Like this game has so many possible permutations you can't see them all realistically.
Yeah.
But I've seen most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like I was up all out watching videos of moments from Alpha Protocol, just moments that I have never seen before, dialogue
Yeah.
I had never seen or even knew existed.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. Like I love when games have that many different options. Like and you're allowed to play around and experiment to see.
I can't think of very many games that are as reactive as this one is.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of RPGs that have a ton of dialogue, but they aren't as interwoven, right?
Yeah.
So you go through this scene, and that scene can play out very differently, but it's relatively unlikely that by the end of this game, it has a lot of different permutations. I'm really interested in Detroit did some interesting things with this, despite being completely awful.
In every other way, yes.
The structure was really fascinating, but it's
I mean,
still
Connor is pretty
sharply
cool,
limited. Mixed feelings.
and literally no one else.
I don't know if we want to derail this to becoming a Detroit conversation.
I mean, if you want my opinions on Detroit, see my Detroit Let's Play also
Oh, right, you
on
did a Let's
Interactive
Play.
Friction, which is the other Let's Play series I do with my friend Sam.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played that. 'Cause I
That
don't have a PS4.
Zero Asher.
Yeah. All right. Just stop. Yeah, there we go. Going hot.
SMG everything. That's how this goes, right? Or you can grenade them. Oh, they saw you. Man, you really are just spraying and praying, huh?
I mean, that's what SMGs do, right?
I guess. He's dead. Okay. But I think that there's been a lot of overlap between interactive fiction and
Friction.
No, I'm not talking about your
No, he's
show. I'm
talking about the
inter-
genre.
Oh.
Yes.
He's talking about something notable.
Yes, interactive fiction. So choose your own adventure games basically, except with stats and more stuff like that, as opposed to these linear routes. But there's been more and more of that with Game of Thrones and or not Game of Thrones, but Telltale's. I thought of Game of Thrones.
There's a Telltale Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I like
Why,
it.
but
But Telltale and Life is Strange and games like that, and you're seeing a lot more interplay between the twine style of interactive fiction with more traditional games, which I think is really cool.
maybe you should try. I wonder if a valid SMG tacket is kind of stunning them a bit and then walking up to them, punching them out for the final bit as a damage.
Maybe.
Because it's lots of little hits. I'm just trying to think of ways to make it less boring to watch. I mean, not suck. It is amazing how they look like you're just tickling them.
Yeah.
It's extremely bad.
Because you can get right in their face and they still take scratch damage.
It's still bullets. Seriously, come on. How does the armor work? Do NPCs have armor?
What happens is you don't wear it so you look cooler. That's how it works.
Right, but I mean for enemies. Do you have to get through their armor, or
so
does damage
armor provides endurance. You'll see that's the gray bar above the red health bar, and
Okay.
endurance is kind of like your shields, and they will recharge if
Okay.
if there's a pause in combat.
I'm just gonna
In
walk
fact, one of
away
the-
from these guys.
Pick
You're
up
not
money.
doing too badly.
In fact, one of the essentially unused mechanics in this game is that endurance recharges anytime, including during conversation. But the problem is you can't ever actually like start.
You don't really
conversation
delay a
in the middle of
conversation enough for that
combat.
to be relevant.
Also, you don't delay it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
you
it's
can
a
just
cool
if you
idea, but
you could just sit there and wait before a boss fight occurs, and then just literally sit there and get your returns to recover.
like I can think of only one time, which is the fight against Marburg in Rome, where you can really draw it out. But at that point,
you're doing something else at that point if you were doing that. Usually, or you already have another goal in mind.
Because yeah,
in
there's.
fact, I think the only way you can draw it out is just by like having learned more about him. Like it's not really an option to like fast talk your way into it.
Because there's like the trope or whatever of like, hey, we're gonna sit behind this cover and yell at each other and hash this out, and then like both parties are like recovering from like the firefight they'd been in a few seconds before or whatever.
Quiet
that's
time.
not something.
For movies, for action movies.
Oh, I don't have a silencer on this gun. No wonder. Oops.
Oh, good job, dude.
10 out of 10 would do again.
Yep. Clearly.
Hey, your bullet hole cleared up. Oh, hey, the other one did too.
Yep. Video games, right? That guy's gonna shoot you in the face. Apparently, he's not gonna shoot you in the face because he wasn't paying attention.
It looks like he's scratching his head.
Yeah, I thought he might have been on the phone.
Did you actually kill that guy?
Yeah, that guy's dead.
Well,
He's super dead.
leave him be. I mean, I saw you walk by and shoot him with the SMG, and he kind of looked like, failed a little or something. No, just leave him be. No, he ran away. He's just like, no, I don't want to be tickled anymore. That's torture. That's like against the Geneva Conventions.
Yeah.
He would know some things about that.
But more importantly, we got ammo we need to pick up. That's very important. It's vital to our game plan that we get all the ammo.
I had to check my...
Oh, I like how you started shooting and then you turned the exact opposite way in towards the camera.
This game is so janky.
SMGs are so inaccurate that you fire in 180 degrees the wrong direction.
This game is janky. Like, this is jankier than a homebrew Magic the Gathering tech.
It takes something to be jankier than Mass Effect, but this game manages it.
Yeah, holy shit.
Although Mass Effect has some very weird things. My favorite thing in the first Mass Effect is how you can snipe people from literally outside the combat range.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Because, like, you know how you pull out your guns, right? When you get close enough to enemies?
Yeah.
And, like, you can pull them out anyways, and as far as you can tell, the game's not in combat. Like, you'll regenerate your shield, which normally only happens outside combat, and stuff like that. Which, that's a very strange game.
You mean the original Mass Effect? Yeah.
Yeah. Because Andromeda brings in some of that, but it all sucks, so... I really dislike Andromeda, I'm sorry.
So does Brad Shoemaker from Giant Bomb.
I know. He's not wrong.
I haven't even like seen more than like Mumbles' outtakes from it.
Yeah.
And, like her full take on it.
Yeah.
Like,
did you
really? I have so little interest in it. I mean,
did you
I
listen to the podcast I did with her beforehand?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was me.
How long was your
and-
podcast?
It was like an hour. We just did
Yeah,
like a
Mumbles'
preview.
video was like 10 minutes, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that was before it started. I mean, I was doing it with her. Because we were doing this preview podcast, like, hey, this is what we want this game to be, and what we think it might be, and.
I remember that podcast, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember who all we did it with.
I wasn't part of it, but I remember watching it.
Yeah. And then it came out, and we're all like, oh, this game sucks. We're not doing another podcast because I don't want to talk for an hour about how bad this game is. And I only played like a third of it.
Oh, well then you hadn't played till the part where it got really bad. I mean, good. Sorry.
If there's something you can use.
Oh. I'm
It's
probably
actually-
gonna die.
Oh.
Oh, wait, you only have 5 health.
You
How
got-
did that happen? Jesus.
I got hit in the shades with a shotgun.
It's actually amazing.
Rip.
Well, go fire some missiles. I'm sure it'll work out fine.
The missiles?
That's what
You're too late!
You're here to find us. Oh, are you dead?
No, we're
Have
still
to-
going. We're still
He
going.
just healed. He just healed.
I popped a medikit. I popped some metagel.
You're gonna fire the missiles though, right?
Yeah, but I need to
As
not
long
get
as he
shot
can-
first.
Yeah, he got it.
Nah, it's not important.
Why did I choose SMGs as my sub weapon?
You gotta get close.
That's why you should choose it as your primary weapon. See? That was your mistake. Now,
That's how
there
you're
was...
supposed to use this SMG. If you can fucking aim.
Maybe stop running around when you aim. I don't know. Although I actually feel like for stylistic reasons, your aim should get better when you're running around.
Yeah, I agree. You need that gun fu.
Need that Shaq Fu.
Perform your gun kata.
Yeah.
You actually probably could have stomped on that guy and made a non-lethal submachine gun. I mean, a more non-lethal gun.
What are you talking about? We haven't killed a single person here. At all.
Are you using rubber bullets?
No. We're using regular bullets, but they're happy bullets. They make you smile as you know, fall asleep for a long time.
Happy
forever.
pills.
You know? They make you feel better as you no longer wake up.
Man, this is an actual plot point in this kind of strange movie called Chappie, which is about a robot that gains sapience and is basically like a baby.
Yeah.
And this is I think it's a Neil Blomkamp film.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he gets raised by gangsters basically. And
Yeah.
but you know his creator makes him promise, you know, don't go murdering people.
Mm-hmm.
And so the gangsters go like, no, this is put to sleep thing, and you know it's a 6-inch knife or something like that. Found the missiles.
The missiles?
No.
You're too late!
I know. Look, I'm like 15 seconds smarter than you. I was 5 seconds smarter than Aldowyn.
Mmm.
Anyway, that would be a great time to have like a recruit line. This would be able to make the recruit be like a much more funnier thing. If the recruit says, Yancey, or Mr. Westers, I found the missiles. No.
Yeah, but like Rookie is the boring ass
super
Rookie
earnest
though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. This is the way that they could have made the recruit much more interesting. I'm really, really disappointed to see how like awful it is. Like not just boring, but really
Remember
bad.
my first run? This was an infuriating fight.
Is this like the equivalent of that stupid fight with the two guys in front of the club in Mass Effect 1? Are you guys aware of what fight that is?
Yeah, I know what fight that is. I don't remember having difficulty with it, but
The thing is,
pretty sure I played it on control though.
yeah, if you play it on harder difficulties, it's a pain in the ass. Because they'll like flank you like automatically because you're literally just on this square, so like damage is pretty low. So like they'll flank you just like always, and you get fucked.
I mean,
I should have
my
probably
bet
put some
is-
armor on.
No, you gotta run your civvies. Also, you'd have to buy armor.
No, you get some starting kits.
Yeah, you get like basic armor. God.
Remember, in one of his posts, New Dark Cloud talked about like promo kits that he got for Alpha Protocol.
Yeah.
That, like, came with bonus weapons, and there was one that was a combat kit and the stealth kit. The stealth kit was the one he got. That came with a pistol and an SMG.
Yeah, I remember that.
The stealthiest weapon.
So this is the stealth. Yeah, we're stealth killing with these SMGs in case you don't get it. Like,
Well, I guess
Non-lethal takedowns.
it makes sense that the assault rifle and the shotgun are in the combat kit. Presumably.
Yeah,
don't you love this stealth SMG?
isn't, can't you go into that room and get the thing that was bugged?
Oh, you know what? I can do that. I forgot that. I thought that room was progress.
Yeah. Can you just not even use one SMG at a time so you can actually aim?
No, it has. Like he only does guns akimbo with the SMGs. That's the only way.
Yep. You're doing the street sweeper thing or room sweeper thing.
Yeah, this was one of our first bugs in Disclosure Alert, where we had this extra objective and it wasn't in this room. So, like,
Oh, I
it's
remember.
not in this room, I don't think. Oh no, it is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm 15 seconds behind or whatever.
There's a case over there.
Yeah.
Mike, have you spotted Nazri?
Right here.
Well, I had this theory from watching Spoiler Warning and then personal experience through Disclosure that you get way more bugs when you're streaming.
Yeah.
When you've just got more things going on.
Like
It's actually funny. I encountered, I believe, one single bug during my playthrough of Alpha Protocol, which was actually a really helpful bug. It was in the final mission for Full Circle, and helicopter comes out of nowhere, and you have to shoot it down with missiles, and it's this horrible pain of a boss fight. Anyway, it came out of nowhere. I didn't even see it coming. It blew me up with a missile immediately. Then I reloaded, and I just got to progress through the area. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. I didn't want to deal with that anyway.
Mike, we need to know where those missiles went.
If we let him go, he could lead us to the people he sold the missiles to. Or they might come after him. Either way, we win.
But if he can't lead us to the buyers, then we've let a killer go, and more people will die.
You've probably already chosen it, but extortion, I think, is the coolest option.
Sure, it's the coolest option, not the one we went with though.
My radio's acting up. Getting a lot of static.
What are you doing?
oh, okay, that works.
Yeah,
You're just gonna
I
yeah.
already.
Any last words?
Sorry, radio went on the fritz. Westridge.
Rip.
Monastery pulled a gun on me. Tried to escape. Had to put him down. Don't get too upset. I probably saved 100 lives just now. We'll get by without him.
All right, search the body. See if you had anything else.
Swords are so full of shit. Come on. You're supposed to be a recruit. Isn't it a bit early to be like acting on your own like that?
You know,
Search the body. This is an RPG.
yeah, it's an RPG. You gotta loot the corpse.
Anyway, yeah. Extortion is probably the best because you don't actually extort him. You pretend to extort him, and you get the money for it. But I mean, the point is not to extort him. The point is to get his bank account
Yeah.
and his email, and bug them, and then watch for him to send. So you intercept his email, and you get to learn ahead of time that Moscow is a missile distribution center. And the way that this game is set up is, well, very, very Mass Effect-like, actually.
Yeah.
You have a starting area, and then 3 hub areas that you can tackle in any order. And in fact, you can go between them if you want, although it basically makes no story sense to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably technically do that in Mass Effect 2, but why the hell would you do that?
Well, Mass Effect 2 didn't really have the
I
same
mean,
sort
Mass
of...
Effect 1 also.
I know, and I'm saying in Mass Effect 1 you could just move between the hubs. There was
Yeah,
also
that's what
really
I'm
no reason to do so.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to do on the world that you find, but you can't do it with Virmire, obviously, but Virmire is a special world.
Yeah.
And it was hard to do with the one where you find
Novaria.
Yara, because it's kind of that. But yeah, Novaria and Pharos, you can easily move
I thought
between.
don't you get stuck when you go to the science base or whatever in
Yeah,
Novaria?
once you go to Peak 15 in Novaria, and once you get far enough out in Varus.
Yeah, in Theros,
you can't
like
really
you
come
have to when you figure out what's going on, because when you go back, everyone will be like aggressive or whatever.
Yeah, but in both those cases, you've begun to enter the kind of end game of those. Well, less so on Novaria, but Novaria is much larger than Pharos.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's standard BioWare structure, right? Like if you ever saw one of those charts, it's like, oh, intro level, for next level, that's like your first real level, which is kind of where we are now with Saudi Arabia, and then it opens up and you get to go to the 3 different zones, and then both. Trying to remember. In Mass Effect, you open up the last Virmire, like when you do the.
You open up Virmire after you've done 2 of the 3.
Although.
And then you save it to do it last because it makes the most story sense.
Yes, it does not make any sense at all to not do the other one. Yeah. But like Coder does the same thing. That's the Old Republic does the same thing.
Yeah.
Dragon Age is similar. I don't think it has. I guess the lands meet. Do you have to do everything before you go to the lands meet?
I believe so. Yeah, like that. You have like that's your
okay.
intro into
That triggers
the end game.
Yeah.
So in Alpha Protocol, the 3 hubs that we're going to go to beyond this, and I imagine we'll tackle them as just staying in this one place until it's finished, because it is the thing that makes the most story sense to spend a month in each place, basically, because the game takes place over the course of about 3 months. Those will be Moscow, which happens to be a missile distribution center, Taipei, in which there's a plot to assassinate the president of Taiwan, or the president of the Republic of China.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because it deals with because the idea there is to inflame tensions between the People's Republic of China and the Republic of China on the Taiwanese separation movement. Basically, the idea of trying to make a Republic of Taiwan, which would break the one China policy, and then kind of the nuclear option for what you call it, cross-strait relations, and that just makes this like huge mess that is the kind of thing that can spark a World War III. And then Rome, which is a false flag terrorist attack, basically, to influence some legislation. And so Rome and Taipei are the kind of do little events to trigger things in the world that will ultimately lead back to better outcomes for whoever we're trying to improve outcomes for, which is what Parker is all about. And Moscow is more directly related to the normal business of Halbeck's missile development. You get to fuck with their distribution system there if you want. You can actually do it in 2 different ways, and you can also be too dumb to figure it out, which is actually what happened to us in Disclosure Alert. But
No, didn't we figure out? No, we never did.
Leland even tells us you were too dumb to figure it out, and we had to actually agree with him, which was
that's rough. Wow.
It was.
I mean, the best part is when you do it correctly, and he says you were too stupid to figure it out, and then Michael goes, "So he underestimated me, thought I was too stupid to figure it out."
Yes, exactly. When it comes back to three months before, or 2 months beforehand, or whatever. Defeated. I love how it comes up defeated. The best one is when the Taiwanese president can be assassinated. It shows up under its name, defeated. I actually wonder if it can show up under say if Madison St. James dies.
I think it does if Madison if she dies.
Defeated. Why did they not just say deceased?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Or KIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you also noticed every character had a reputation system. I love that the reputation
you shot him with his pistol. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
But
I thought you might have used SMG for some reason.
Maybe there's a way of you can win some of those encounters without them ending up dead. So.
Yeah, the weird part about the game is that even though you can in theory not be using pistols whenever you throw someone at gunpoint, it's always pistols. Even though you can in theory not have one on you.
The thing is that one actually makes sense. The pistols are just what you use in normal non-combat situations because they're very light and very easy to move about, and they're very associated with the genre of spy fiction.
It's also why it's probably why they're most overpowered weapon in the entire game.
Possibly, but I mean it's the opposite of the BioWare cutscene weapon problem, where you're shown using weapons that are totally inappropriate to the situation.
You're always using
pistol
the
is totally appropriate.
You're always
even though you might be in a class that in theory never ever equipped that weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean in Mass Effect 1, because you technically always have one of every weapon. So everyone technically
you are forced to carry.
Although I think in Mass Effect 2 they give everyone the SMG, which is why you start or the pistol. So you always have the pistol because that's the weapon you always have. Every character can use a pistol.
Yeah, and in Mass Effect 2 they'll actually. Or something. Yeah, in Mass Effect 2 they'll every class gets their loadout, so they all engineer will always have a pistol and an SMG, for example.
Yeah.
And then Mass Effect 3, you could have whatever mix you want, but you can only have one of each class. I think.
Yes, I believe that was the case.
You could have 2 assault rifles, yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the reputation because it's every character here has a plain reputation. I like that it's not binary. That is definitely a spectrum from really really likes you to can't stand your guts. Because I've always found that the karma systems in other games, you talked about this a little earlier, but not really in detail, don't really make sense or feel good.
Yeah.
In terms of how you play. Whereas Reputation always seems like it felt a little better to play around with.
Yeah.
Whereas because Fallout 3, for example, and I'll use that because it's the best example of the typical karma system. all of the good, like there is the good team of goody people, and there is the evil team of evil bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where you are on the combat spectrum, it affects which one of those two teams is pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Whereas when you do a reputation system, I can have someone where, say, like, someone really likes me because I saved their ass one day, or maybe I did something that they appreciated. Whereas someone else, for a totally unrelated reason, might hate me because either they don't know about that thing I did, or they don't care, or that thing actively makes their life worse.
Yeah.
It's a better system, I find, than karma.
There's also the idea of it not being like, it's not just either they like you or they dislike you. They have ranges of how much they like you, right?
Or they might just not even care about you. Like, you might be neutral towards them. Like okay, you're a person. Hi, person.
Dragon Age Origins does that, and it's important in a few cases. Because, like, I know if you're trying to romance Morgan in that game, like,
she needs to be really liking you.
Yeah, you can have like a fling basically if she just likes you, and then there's like a tier where she like won't get involved with you, and then you have to like get her over the hump, and then you can actually have the actual romance with her. Not that I ever did that because I don't like Morgan.
And then there was a thing in this game where the reputation or the reputation with someone affects your perks with them when they're your handler.
Yeah.
And which is a really cool idea, but like in actual execution, Mina is your handler for like the vast majority of the game.
Yeah.
So her reputation ends up being the only one that effectively matters in that particular case.
Yeah, and it matters in the end game, right?
In the end game, you have a choice of handlers, in which case that does come into play again. But it's like you have this beginning where your handler reputation matters, and then the middle of the game where it's mostly Mina, and then the end of the game where it suddenly matters again.
At the beginning of the game, you have 3 possible handlers. In the mid game, you basically have Mina, and then for a couple missions, Madison. For a couple missions, like your choice of Z or
Madison,
Albatross.
Well, here's the thing: even in that mission where you choose C or Albatross, Mina is still technically treated as your handler for those missions. You just get the perk for which side you chose. Mina is still technically in that mission your handler, in terms of who determines what perk you have.
But I don't think a lot of those perks are all that strong, are they? They're like 5 and 10%. Some of them are significant.
Individually, no, but they do add up.
Yeah.
Oh, but I want to say, in the end game, there's 5 handler options for the final mission.
There's Albatross. There's Albatross. There's C and Heck, and you can choose to replace them with Scarlet.
Mina.
You can have Mina take over as your handler in the final mission.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't believe so. Like, I know she can come back into play. Like, you can rescue her, but I don't know if she actually takes over as handler during that mission.
She maybe not. But she at least talks. Well, let's see. No, I'm pretty sure because she can. She can be not in the very final scene, but the final scene with.
Yeah, but she's not your handler in that scene. Like, you still technically have your normal handler you brought in.
No, I mean she's the one that you can motion to help you out, just like you would motion Heck, just like you'd motion Sis, just like you'd motion Z.
Well, yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, like that's true, but she's not your handler for that mission. Like you can still have her come in, like if you saved her, like come into play in the cutscenes and the dialogue options. But she doesn't actually take a part in the physical gameplay aspect of it at that point. Like in the shooting part of it.
I don't remember. We can look into it.
Anyway, yeah, for the majority of the game, Mina is your handler, and there's a very obvious reason for that, and she's kind of the one that gets you out of Alpha Protocol.
But it also
reasons to be
there's a good story reason for it, but like in terms of like the mechanics, it feels like that's a wasted potential. Like they just wasted some potential there.
Yeah, like for instance, it would be good to have like a couple different hub ones. Like what if Heck joins you on missions, but he doesn't end up being a handler for those missions.
Yeah.
What if he kind of joined as a handler because Heck doesn't really, heck's not going to sit behind a computer and listen in on your feeds.
Yeah.
Like
No.
a proper handler should. He's going to ignore that proper protocol and wait and
Yeah.
cause some.
Ignore the
Because
proper
destruction and
protocol. Well
But
played.
he would still give you. Oh, thanks. You know,
I think-
he would mess with that and go in, but he could
Yeah.
still give you that bonus for that mission.
Yeah, because I think the handler bonuses they feel pretty ancillary to me because they're just something that's attached to the reputation.
Minas in
of
particular
Finland.
is really good because it's universal cooldown reduction and
Oh, that's
or
a good
universal endurance boost.
Yeah, which are both quite good.
Yeah, but for the rest of them, they are kind of ancillary. You're right, but Minas in particular, and I guess it's because she is the one you're playing most of the game with. They had to be universally effective, perks.
And it
But
would make sense for the other handlers to have perks that it would be appropriate if you're doing a playstyle that's
Yeah.
like similar to what they do or whatever.
mhm.
So yeah.
Hey, what terrible thing does it say for rookie move?
Rookie move. Rather than fake it, you chose to recruit stance 10 times let your rookie charm work its mojo.
Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah, the veteran one is way better. See, even the
Yeah.
veteran perk is it's like you've saved the world a dozen times before or whatever, and anybody that tries to
I mean, it
tell you
feels
otherwise can
like-
fuck right off or something.
Like, you need to play through
It's
rookie
pretty
to unlock veteran, so it feels like you're almost deliberately going through a you're deliberately going through a worse playthrough of the game, so you have a god tier playthrough later on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, story-wise, it shouldn't be a
Yeah.
worse playthrough.
You're right.
That's
You're
the real-
correct.
That's the thing that it's the flavor text, so to speak, there, and the actual dialogue moments and the way that they're trying to sell a character that don't
Yeah,
gel
and the
into an
flavor is kind
interesting
of
way.
weak for rookie. You're right.
Yeah.
Or for rookie.
Also, as I noted, you don't need to play through rookie to unlock veteran. You just need to download a rookie save and then play through the next 5 seconds. And then look, that's how I.
But I
unlock
mean,
that crap.
in game, if you're not cheating,
Yeah.
You could
you would
probably just edit an innie or something, can't you? Surely.
probably.
Maybe, but I actually found the easiest way to do it was just download a save.
Okay.
I mean, we're already
You
an
can
hour
get
into
one of,
it,
like,
so it's too late
yeah,
to
one
take
of
it back. But yeah, you're right.
I mean,
Have
we were
we?
doing-
Well, the idea was to perhaps show us. I mean, I've never seen the recruit stuff, and it's actually pretty enlightening to see how
Yeah.
bad it is. Because
I'm
I
curious.
really
if
like
it'll-
Obsidian, but when they fuck
Yeah.
up, this needs to be acknowledged too.
Because the
And
weird
bad writing
thing
still
is
bad
like
writing.
I forgot how bad it was because I only played through rookie the one time, and then I spent
Yeah.
and I used veteran literally every other run of the game. I've never played it with the mid tier classes.
I'm curious to
That's
see
gonna-
what it will
the
look
mid-tier
like.
classes have their own dialogue too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're separate from each other. But I'm curious to see like if it improves, like how different it is when we get out of like the rookie areas.
I'm
like,
curious with
elite
the
areas.
Marburg conversation how rookie ends up.
Yeah, because the obvious thing, like they might end up including less rookie dialogues as you go through the game because you're less of a rookie or whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious. Like, we'll keep going with it and see what it's like.
Or what if rookies start becoming like as you go throughout the game? If it starts becoming more and more like I've gained confidence, and I
Mhm.
was a rookie at some point, but I'm no longer that rookie.
So
Mhm.
you were saying something about some topic that was being talked about before, like character development.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds suspiciously similar to that sort of thing. I don't know that the rookie dialogue so far is.
I don't know if they're gonna go that way. It's been literally years since I've heard the rookie dialogue.
Like having heard some of this early stuff, it does not sound like it at all. It sounds very like phoned in.
yeah.
Which I actually wonder maybe it was like it's a
I mean, this game was
hard
famously
mode type
rushed. Like this game was famously like they had to scrap what they did and then redo it almost entirely in like a very very short amount of time.
I don't know.
So it's entirely possible.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. 'Cause for the most part, it's actually pretty impressive. Like, how consistent some of the writing is. Like, the transitions are pretty crummy.
It's also
But,
impressive just like how much branching this game does. Like this is a short game. You can beat this game in roughly like 8 to 10 hours. And for RPG, that's really really short.
I think I played it through in like 16, and I again am the kind of person that tries to reload conversations to run
Yeah.
through all the things.
But like the amount of replayability this game has is extraordinary.
Yeah.
You can go like again, I played through this game a large number of times getting that platinum trophy, and I enjoyed every single run of the game. This is like Alpha Protocol is probably my favorite game of all time. It's also a really bad game at the same time.
I think it's fascinating. It's a fascinating game. It's one of the games that I think should be talked about more than it is. But I am not going to say it's my favorite game.
I would like them to make like an Alpha Protocol 2, but like Final Fantasy style. Just don't do any. They just like divorce themselves from the story completely and build another spy RPG that like that's what their Alpha Protocol brand is, like their spy RPGs. That's the only thing that keeps them in common.
This was like exactly the kind of thing that Seamus talked about what he wanted to see from Deus Ex,
Yeah.
where instead Deus Ex sequels like tried to build on this complicated, mythology thing, and they fall all over themselves. No, totally divorce yourself from that.
I want you to build off this mechanical blueprint, but do something different with it.
For me, I want to see more like for me, I want to see
in
more
terms
like
of tone,
the same
or
sort
flavor.
of style, the same sort of like the same kind of branching, and the same. What also really interests me about Alpha Protocol is the interconnectedness of all the different storylines and character backstories. Like, yes, they branch off into like different ways that things can go, but that's mostly because all of the things kind of cohere together.
And stuff that happens in one hub can affect other hubs.
In a way that's very significant as opposed to really superficial, like the way Mass Effect would often do that, or Dragon Age. But I'm not super enamored with the setting of like an espionage RPG. But if they did something that's structured in a similar way and has the same like emphases and values of like design values that Alpha Protocol has in a different game, because they'd have some of that in the Pillars and Tyranny in the fantasy games they've done.
Admit that I'm a sucker for spy fiction, so I would love more spy fiction in video games. But like, I don't give a actual shit about the real story or the deep, detailed lore of Alpha Protocol. I just want a good spy game, a good spy RPG. That's all I want.
There's like this, and then like Splinter Cell, I guess.
That's not really an RPG though.
No. But for spy games at all, like it's this and Splinter Cell, and
you could argue like Deus Ex ish. You
You're
can
a
make
cop.
the argument. I wouldn't buy it, but you can make it.
It's a cyberpunk game, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, cyber game. I don't know how punk Deus Ex is sometimes. I was really put off when I first played Human Revolution by all the conspiracy theory stuff, because I had not realized at all that was part of what that game was.
Oh yeah. They talk about fucking FEMA conspiracies in the original Deus Ex, because that was the age that game was developed in. This game is a very fascinating game. It's not good, and if someone told me this game is their least favorite game, I would totally believe them and understand why they think that. But it had so much potential. There's so much here that's really fun and cool and good. It's just that the parts that are bad are also really bad.
The like shooting and combat is extremely rough. The balance is fucked. There's lots of pretty significant problems.
Yeah. And with that, I think we're going to adjourn for this recording session. We're going to try to do this every week if we can. I don't know if that's going to be possible, because next week I'm going to be on call for my job for weekend support. And if I'm called in, I'm called in. Nothing I can do about that. But if I am free, we will try to get this together.
Yeah.
Or if all of us are free, I should say. Because obviously your schedules are up for this too.
Most Sundays I'm totally free.
Because I'm probably, let's see.
Yeah, most Sundays.
I'm busy 2 weekends from now.
Okay.
Most actually, I might be free then. I actually might be free. I don't know.
Yeah. So most Sundays I'm free, but like today, like I got home like right before we started. That'll be the latest that I should be free even on those days.
But
that I do monthly.
Until then, guys, take care and thank you for watching.
Yeah. And no one has to do any editing because we just streamed this, so that works.
Yeah.
What about the ending bits? Oh, I know. Okay, we'll just copy and paste them from Disclosure Alert. Problem solved.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Just